All Our Yesterdays, written by Eleanor Wells, based on the novel by Eleanor Wells. Insert camcorder footage. Late 90s camcorder footage. We're in the lobby outside a high school auditorium after a show. Audience talk amongst themselves. We hear the camera woman, Maura Woodson, narrate.
This is Maura Woodson coming to you live from White Lake High School. It's Friday, May 17th, 1999, just after the opening of A Doll's House. We are waiting for the star of the show.
Just then, the camera focuses in on Marcy Lewis, 17, studious and thoughtful. She's in day clothes and stage makeup and carrying a bouquet. People stop to congratulate her.
There she is now, Marcy Lewis in the flesh.
Marcy sees the camera and waves, approaching it.
Miss Lewis, comment for your adoring fans.
Uh,
Marcy gives a flushed smile.
this role means a lot to me. Thank you for coming and showing up. I love playing Nora, and I'm gonna miss her.
And Miss Lewis, tell the viewers what you're doing in a month's time.
My sister and I are going to New York City.
These little town blues are melting away.
Marcy blushes again.
We knew her when.
Interior, White Lake High School, lobby, night. The footage cuts, and we see Maura now, 18, lively and sweet.
Perfect.
She puts her camera back in her bag.
You're not gonna give that to anyone, are you?
Maura shakes her head.
I don't know, I'm just capturing the moment.
Marcy gives her a weary, tired smile. She sighs and looks back at the auditorium.
It's all just going by so fast, you know?
Yeah, it is.
The girls linger.
We're going to talk all the time.
They linger still.
Hey, wasn't Eileen supposed to be here tonight?
Oh, you don't know?
Maura pauses, concerned.
Dan broke up with her.
Oh my God.
She's in a room, but not really talking to anyone. So, Mom might drag her out when she and Dad come on Sunday, but yeah.
Marcy trails off, and Maura gives her a reassuring look.
You should both go out dancing or something fun and wild when you're in New York.
I'm sure we'll figure something out.
The scene fades. Interior, airplane, day. Marcy and her older sister, Eileen, 21, the pretty one, take up two seats on an airplane. Marcy is deep in a crossword puzzle when Eileen taps her on the shoulder. She looks up from the puzzle.
Hey, look.
Marcy sees New York from their airplane window and her jaw drops.
Whoa.
Interior, cab, day. The girls are stuck in traffic. In the back, Eileen and Marcy both look out separate windows.
We could go to the MoMA.
I told you I don't really want to.
Why not?
I don't like art museums. In France, there was the Mona Lisa, and then there was a big line of people waiting to look at the Mona Lisa. It's not worth it.
Marcy scoffs.
All right, got it.
Besides, we're going to the play on Friday, aren't we?
So are we just gonna sit in the hotel until then?
No.
Before Marcy can respond, the girls both notice a large crowd, mostly of younger girls, queued up outside. Lots carry handmade signs. A giant display is her answer. There's a giant-sized image of Olive Sherman, 25, a real-life Disney princess, alongside her stylized signature on the side of the concert venue.
Oh my God, I didn't know she was here.
No wonder we're not moving.
How do we miss this?
Eileen shrugs.
I thought you didn't like Olive anymore.
No, I do.
As they talk, Marcy still watches the crowd and the hordes of people on the streets. Interior, hotel lobby, day. A generic, basic hotel. As the girls check in, Marcy's eyes drift to a magazine rack. One is a suggestion for things to do. As the concierge hands them their keys, Marcy grabs the magazine. Interior, Ellis Island, ferry, day. Eileen and Marcy sit on a bench near the side of the ferry. It is crowded with tourists from all over the world. Eileen gazes out at the water as Marcy's eyes fall to the crowd. She people watches the different groups before taking out her backpack and the Things to Do magazine. She pages through it before something piques her interest. Blue Crane Lounge, dinner and live music in Manhattan. There are photos indicating a mid-century funky vibe. Marcy gets Eileen's attention. It takes her a moment to come out from her daze.
Yeah,
Marcy shows her the magazine.
Look at this. The live music is every Friday. We could totally go before the play.
yeah, looks cool. Let's do it.
Really?
Yeah, sure.
Eileen smiles at her, and the girls catch a glimpse of Ellis Island. Travel montage. We see the highlights of Marcy and Eileen's trip. With each thing they do, Eileen's demeanor gradually becomes less sad and withdrawn and more bubbly, happy, and excited. The girls get hot dogs from a street vendor in Central Park. As they do, their attention turns to a street musician with a guitar. Marcy stops and puts some money in their guitar case. The girls admire and smell flowers at the New York Flower Market. The girls window shop on Fifth Avenue. The girls shop for clothes, for books, and at gift shops. The girls take pictures at the top of the Empire State Building. Marcy stares at her reflection in the bathroom hotel mirror, dressed in a pink outfit and trying to figure out how to style her bangs. Eileen enters the bathroom. Marcy gestures to her bangs. Eileen regards her sister for a moment and then gets something out of her makeup bag, a pink hair clip. She holds it up to Marcy's dress. Marcy nods, takes the clip from Eileen, and pins her bangs to the side. She feels pretty as she looks at herself in the mirror once more. Interior, the Blue Crane Lounge, night. Marcy and Eileen enter an artsy, mid-century themed restaurant and wade through a crowd to get to the hostess. As they're led to their table, the girls admire the decor on the walls and the stage, set up for a musician to perform. The hostess places them at the table closest to the stage and then gives them their menus.
I really hope they're good, whoever it is.
Eileen laughs.
Usually they're not, but we'll live.
Marcy smiles as the waiter approaches them to take their drink orders. After they leave, Marcy's focus is pulled to the musician entering the stage. This is Cole Hargrove, 20. Boyish, cute. He has that something, that magnetic, hard to describe quality. A guitar is slung over his shoulder. As he sits, Marcy notices that Cole is looking right at her. He starts to sing the Kinks' Sunny Afternoon, stealing another look at Marcy as he does. Interior, the Blue Crane Lounge, later. Cole finishes the song and leans into the microphone.
Thank you, patrons of the Blue Crane Lounge. It's a beautiful summer night, and I'm happy to be here. Do I have any Donovan fans in the house?
No one raises their hand at first. Cole's face gets more nervous and embarrassed. Then Marcy does.
Okay, one person. This is Wear Your Love Like Heaven.
As he begins, Eileen snaps in front of Marcy to get her attention. The waiter has returned with their drinks and is ready to take their food orders. After the waiter leaves, Eileen bites her lip. Marcy turns back to Cole. She's entranced by the whole song. Exterior, the Blue Crane Lounge, night. After dinner, Marcy and Eileen stand outside the restaurant, trying to hail down a cab. One passes right by them. Marcy looks at her watch. Eileen tries to hail down another cab, which also passes them.
Shit!
We should just walk.
Eileen gestures down to her heels.
Not exactly just for that.
Marcy realizes she isn't either.
Fair.
She's about to say more, but is distracted by Cole coming out of the restaurant. He has a to-go bag and his guitar case in one hand as he leans against the side of the building. He takes out his wallet and starts counting his cash. He takes a long look at a check and sighs. That's when he and Marcy catch eyes. As they do, he puts his wallet away and straightens his posture.
I saw you play.
Cole takes his stuff and approaches Marcy. Suddenly, they're standing very close, and she can make out every detail of his face. As they speak, they box out Eileen.
I saw you inside. The Donovan fan.
As he smiles, Marcy smiles too. She's blushing.
I hope it didn't suck too much.
No, no, not at all.
Cole extends his hand and they shake.
I'm Cole.
Marcy.
Do you live around here, Marcy?
Marcy shakes her head.
No, I'm just visiting my sister, but we're from Minnesota.
That's when Eileen gets their attention.
Hey, Mars, I hate to break up the party, but we're gonna be late.
Cole blushes.
Oh, if you've got plans, then I won't keep you.
We're going to a show. Death of a Salesman. We're just trying to catch a cab.
I think I read that in high school. Have fun.
Thanks.
The two start to walk in opposite directions when Cole stops.
Hey, wait.
Marcy looks back at him.
You have a number?
Marcy stares at him.
You know, if I'm ever in Minnesota, or if you want to meet up before you leave.
Marcy still says nothing. After a moment, Eileen takes a notepad out of her bag and writes something down. Then she tears off the paper and hands it to Cole.
This is our hotel number. We're here until Sunday. I'm sure Mars would love to see you again.
If that's okay with you.
You can call me.
Okay.
He waves and starts to walk off. Marcy's face is tomato red as she notices an approaching cab. Cole notices it and flags it down. It stops. He looks to the girls and ushers them in, leaving the door open for them.
Thank you.
No problem.
His eyes are fixed on Marcy.
Enjoy the show.
He closes the door. Eileen gives the cab driver the address, and they drive off. Marcy's gaze is fixed on Cole for as long as possible. Interior, cab, night. They drive, in the theater district now.
We're good on time, too.
Eileen isn't paying attention. She's smirking.
What?
Nothing.
Marcy rolls her eyes as the cab approaches the theater. Interior, hotel room, morning. Marcy wakes up to find that Eileen has already returned with breakfast.
Morning. I got breakfast.
Thank you.
Marcy gets up out of bed. Shortly after she does, the phone rings. Eileen answers.
Oh, yes? She's right here. She'd love to talk to you. The play was great. Thank you for asking.
Eileen puts the phone down. Marcy rushes over to the phone.
Hi, this is Marcy.
Marcy, it's Cole from yesterday. How are you?
Um, I'm good. Just got out of bed.
Bull laughs nervously.
Oh, I hope I didn't wake you up.
No, no, not at all.
Hey, listen, where are you staying?
Manhattan.
Oh, that's great. I'm in Queens, but I don't mind coming to Manhattan. Do you want to meet? I'd love to see you.
1 second.
Marcy puts the phone down and looks at Eileen, watching the whole thing. Marcy hesitates.
Hello? Anyone there?
She picks up the phone again.
Hey, sorry. When?
How's noon?
Interior, hotel lobby, day. Marcy sits on a couch as Eileen leaves, dressed to go out. She winks and waves goodbye to her sister. Marcy is left to her own devices. She checks her watch, 11:59. Interior, hotel lobby, later. Marcy sits in the same spot that she was in before, 12:07. She's progressively getting more nervous. Still, she tries to relax. Interior, hotel lobby, still later. Marcy checks her watch again. She gets a magazine from the rack and mindlessly pages through it. She looks at her watch again, 12:11. Interior, hotel lobby, minutes later. Marcy has abandoned the magazine and is staring off into space. She checks her watch again, 12:17. She looks to the hotel's elevators. When she looks back, she sees Cole come through the front doors. He stops to catch his breath. When he sees Marcy, he manages a shy wave and goes to sit next to her on the couch, very closely.
I am so sorry. The subway was delayed. And then we had to sit on the tracks for like 10 minutes because there was a signal problem with the train, I guess. How does that work? You'd think they'd have that all figured out by now.
It's okay.
I hope you didn't think I was going to stand you up.
No, not at all.
I don't know about you, but I'm starving.
They stand up and begin to walk. Exterior, New York City streets, day. We pick up with Marcy and Cole mid-conversation.
So, how do you like New York?
I like it. It's just different.
Different how?
Everyone's always in a hurry to get somewhere.
Cole laughs.
That I can definitely understand.
Yeah, it's been kind of a crazy week. I graduated and turned 18 last week, and now we're here.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
I'll be 21 in September. I'd be going into my senior year if I stayed in school, but I don't know. I want to actually get out and make music and perform, not just learn about it.
That makes sense.
What about you?
Marcy blushes.
What do you mean?
What do you love, Marcy?
Acting, and I paint too. I just played Nora in A Doll's House, if you know it.
Cole shakes his head. A twinge of pride cuts through Marcy's voice.
It's the lead role, so.
Cole beams at her.
Nice.
They walk a few paces before Marcy speaks again. Her face is red.
So, how long have you been interested in music?
My whole life?
My dad, in the summers, he runs this boat rental company, but during the school year, he actually teaches orchestra at our local high school, so I was never far from music.
It conveys so much without words. It's kind of
Universal language?
exactly.
By then, they've approached the restaurant and Cole leads her inside. Interior, diner, day. Marcy and Cole sit at a booth by the window and eat diner food as they talk.
The town I'm from, it's called White Lake, and there's 9,000 people. But in the summers, it just explodes. Like people go to the lake, they go shopping, go camping, hiking. Like a big chunk of the town's economy is just summer tourism. Isn't that crazy? If
That sounds amazing.
you ever come, I'll show you around.
Definitely.
The two are silent for a moment as they exchange a smile and a lingering gaze.
Just out of curiosity, you ever write your own stuff?
Cole blushes, a nervous look forming on his face.
Yes?
A little. I haven't really had the confidence to play them.
What's stopping you?
Cole continues to blush.
Maybe the next gig.
Marcy smiles and the conversation goes quiet.
Hey, when do you go back?
Tomorrow, early.
Quiet.
Listen, Marcy, thanks for coming to lunch with me.
After that, the waiter comes with the bill. Marcy takes her wallet out and Cole stops her by putting his hand on top of hers.
It's on me.
Thank you.
Marcy, it's on me.
Cole moves his hand away and Marcy puts her wallet back.
Of course. You're the one that's visiting. Besides, you just seemed like someone I needed to get to know.
Marcy nods and for a moment she gets lost in his eyes. Cole laughs nervously, which brings Marcy back.
I'm sorry. Thank you for lunch. It was nice.
After a long silence, Cole speaks.
Can I call you when you're in Minnesota?
Marcy nods. Cole smiles and gets out a pen, then an unused napkin from their table. He slides it over to Marcy, and she writes down her number. He smiles as she hands it back. Exterior, hotel, day. After lunch, the two of them linger outside the hotel.
It was really great to meet you, Marcy.
Yeah, you too.
Cole hugs her, and she watches as she waves and walks away out of sight. Exterior, dock, day. Minnesota, close on Marcy. She's sitting behind a booth for Lewis Boat Rentals. She flashes a customer service smile at the customers that have approached her booth, a young boyfriend and girlfriend.
Hi, how can I help you today?
The boyfriend reaches for his wallet.
We'd like to rent a paddle boat for an hour.
Sure.
She goes through the process, getting them to sign a waiver and taking their payment. As she does, there's a glint of jealousy in her eye. After the couple signs their forms, Eileen, standing further down, leads them to a boat. Interior, Marcy's home, Marcy's room, day. Marcy sits in bed staring at a wall. Beside her is a card, and she's just finished writing a note. Part of it. The end says, "You'll have to tell me all about what you're working on next time we talk. Anyways, miss you, Marcy." There's an envelope addressed to Maura Woodson. Marcy sighs and rubs her eyes. Exterior, Marcy's home, sunset. A peaceful summer night. Marcy sits outside with an easel and paints a watercolor landscape. She drinks a glass of lemonade, at peace. Exterior, dock, day. It's a gray, cloudy, quiet day. Marcy is working the booth as a different couple returns their boat. They're the overtly, publicly affectionate type. Marcy rolls her eyes as she watches them as they leave. Marcy's father, Ed Lewis, 40s, approaches her.
Go take lunch.
Okay.
Interior, Lewis Boat Rentals, office, day. Marcy sits at the desk in the office, picking at her lunch. It's an old, cluttered building with a lot of papers and dusty, decades-old furniture everywhere. Her gaze drifts to the calendar. It's July 1999. After a moment, the phone rings. Marcy hesitates before she answers it.
Lewis Boat Rentals.
Marcy,
Who is this?
I called your house. Your sister answered, and she told me to call here.
Excuse me. Who is this?
Sorry, it's Cole Hargrove from New York.
Marcy processes.
I'm sorry it took me so long to call you. I've been busy working on my own songs.
Hmm.
So I remembered what you told me about, playing some of my original stuff and had this gig. So I did one song. It felt amazing.
It's great.
And anyway, there was this manager there. It's kind of a long story, but he believes in my talent and might want to represent me. It's really exciting.
Marcy says nothing.
Marcy, are you still there?
Yeah.
He hesitates for a long while before he says more.
I want to see you.
Marcy takes a moment to respond.
Obviously, only if you also want to. If not, that's fine, and we can just forget that I brought it up.
How?
I've been really lucky with gigs lately, and I actually might have money to spend.
When Marcy says nothing, Cole keeps talking, more quickly and anxious.
The gig I told you about, the one where I met the manager, was this swanky nightclub. They paid me $700 for 4 hours of my time. That's more than I make in like 2 weeks at the grocery store.
So, what are you saying?
I could come to you this time if you want. I need to get out of the city anyways.
That would be great.
For a moment, neither speaks. Then, Marcy looks at her watch, 1:15.
Hey, I should go so I could actually have lunch, but you can call me at home this evening and we'll make plans, okay?
Sounds great.
Goodbye, Cole.
Bye, Marcy.
Marcy hangs up the phone and exhales deeply. Interior, Marcy's home, hallway, night. Marcy is on the phone as the rest of her family sits at the dinner table within.
The 17th, I get it in. We can meet the next night for dinner?
Her mother calls from within.
Marcy, dinner.
Just a second. All right, sounds good. I have to go though, but I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Have a great night.
Marcy, it's getting cold.
Coming. Bye.
She hangs up the phone and joins her family in the dining room. Interior, Marcy's home, dining room, night. As Marcy takes her seat, everyone, Paula, Ed, and Eileen, are all staring at her.
Who are you talking to?
Uh,
Marcy sees the looks from everyone else.
Someone I met in New York,
Who did you meet in New York?
a boy,
Let's see. And who is this boy?
just someone we met at dinner one night.
Eileen cuts in, smiling.
He asked her out and they had lunch.
Everyone looks at Marcy now, but no one says anything.
Does he have a name?
Cole.
And you and Cole have been staying in touch?
Well, he's coming to see me next month, so,
I see. To see you.
well, yes,
How old is he?
20.
It's a long way and a lot of money for him to spend.
You'd like him if you got to know him.
Ed nods and changes the subject. As the conversation shifts, Marcy gets lost in a daydream. Interior, store, day. Marcy shops in a thrift store. She notices a men's leather jacket and a Donovan record. She eyes a dress, blue, vintage, and takes it off the rack. She finds a mirror and holds the dress up to her body, liking the image that's reflected back. Interior, Marcy's home, Marcy's room, day. Morning. Marcy wakes up and notices the calendar, August 18th. She gets out of bed, taking the dress she got from the thrift store out of her closet. Then she neatly folds it, putting the dress and her makeup bag in her backpack. Interior, Lewis Boat Rentals, office, night. Marcy, wearing her dress and makeup done, punches out as Ed and Eileen watch her.
Don't stay out too late.
I won't.
Be safe.
I will.
Marcy leaves. Exterior, Moonlight Bistro, night. Marcy walks her bike over to a rack as she approaches the restaurant, nervous. She sees Cole sitting near the entrance, and after she locks her bike, approaches him. He looks up and smiles as he sees her. They hug.
Hi.
Hi. It's good to see you.
You too.
Marcy blushes again, and their eyes turn to the door. They walk in. Interior, Moonlight Bistro, night. The hostess seats Marcy and Cole at a table near the windows. They have a view out onto the patio and the water. Shortly after they sit down, the live band starts playing an instrumental version of New York, New York. Cole's mouth curls into an embarrassed smile as they share a long, lingering glance. Interior, Moonlight Bistro, night. Near the end of the meal, their waiter gives them the bill.
Whenever you're ready, no rush.
Cole takes it, and Marcy gives him a look. He flashes her a smile as he takes out his card and places it with the bill.
So, what do you think of all this Y2K stuff?
I think people just want something to be panicked about.
The waiter takes Cole's card and goes to run the transaction.
You're probably right. So let's maybe think a lot about certain things. Like, tomorrow isn't guaranteed for any of us, right? I think if today was my last day on Earth, would I be happy with how I'm spending it?
Marcy nods.
I I say this because my dad died of cancer almost 2 years ago now. He was only 45. He was the one who got me into music, you know? We were all blindsided by his diagnosis. How could he have had he could have had 18 months with treatment, but he decided didn't want that.
Cole, I'm so sorry.
I've made my peace with it. I just don't want to waste any more time.
Marcy nods again as the waiter returns with Cole's card. Cole signs the receipt, puts his card back in his wallet, and smiles at Marcy. Exterior, Moonlight Bistro, night. As Marcy leads Cole to the bike racks, he stopped to admire the night sky. She gives him a tired smile and points out her bike.
This is me.
He follows her as she does, getting close.
Hey,
Marcy stops as Cole leans in and kisses her softly. After they pull away, the both of them are smiling.
can I call you tomorrow?
You better.
As Marcy unlocks her bike and mounts it, Cole starts walking in the opposite direction. They both have a non-verbal moment to process what happened. Interior, Marcy's home, kitchen, day. The next day, Marcy's getting ready for a day out, heading out the door while Paula cleans a countertop.
Marcy, you can take the car if you want to show Cole around.
Oh, sure.
She grabs the car keys from near the door.
Thank you.
She starts to leave.
I'll be back later.
Invite him over for dinner.
Sure.
6 o'clock?
Okay.
Marcy exits out the door. Interior, Marcy's home, dining room, night. Mid-meal. They converse. Cole is in the middle of answering one of Ed's questions.
Well, sir, I work at a grocery store to pay the bills, but I get gigs when I can, and hopefully one day my guitar will be enough.
That makes sense. And please, it's Ed.
Thank you, Ed.
Then, Paula gets Eileen's attention. She's near a butter tray.
Eileen, can you pass the butter?
She does, and Cole looks at her.
Your name's Eileen?
Yeah.
I didn't tell you that?
No.
Everyone stares at him.
Come on, Eileen.
Eileen blushes. He looks at Paula.
Hey, Paula.
He turns back to Marcy.
And Marcy's song?
That's Jackson C. Frank.
Exactly.
Exterior. Hail bed in bed breakfast. Night. Another night. Marcy and Cole lay out a blanket outside of Cole's bed and breakfast, watching the constellations. His guitar is off to the side.
Which one's your favorite?
Mm, Lyra.
Why is that?
Do you know the story of Orpheus and Eurydice?
Cole shakes his head.
So Orpheus was the most famous, most gifted musician in all of ancient Greece, and anyone and anything would stop and listen to him play. Um, when Orpheus's wife, Eurydice, died, he went to the underworld to save her, and he even moved Hades himself through song.
Marcy and Cole's eyes meet. He slides his hand into hers. Marcy takes a deep breath and continues.
Orpheus was given one instruction. So Eurydice could leave, but he couldn't look back to see that she was following. And then they almost made it, but at the last second, he gave in and turned around and lost her forever.
Jeez. That's sad.
Yeah, and from then on, he never loved anyone else, but his music was still haunting and beautiful. He never wanted anyone to forget her or the love they shared.
They're laying very close now, gazing intently into each other's eyes. Cole leans forward and kisses Marcy deeply. They pull away.
Marcy, I know I'm going back tomorrow.
Yeah,
I really like you.
I really like you too.
I know we live so far away,
Yeah,
but you do want to maybe like try, to make this official?
what did you say?
Do you want to make this official?
Like, be your girlfriend?
Yeah, that's what I want.
That's what I want too.
Listen, if I sign with a manager, I'll get an album deal. I'll go on tour, so I'll probably be gone a lot anyway. So us being apart won't be that unusual. I just want you to know that what you're getting into. So I understand if you don't want to and you would rather find someone else.
Cole,
He stops and looks at her.
yes, I'll be with you. I'll be your girlfriend.
Cole's mouth curls into a wide, beaming smile. They kiss again and they don't stop. Interior, Marcy's home, Marcy's room, day. A few days later, Marcy talks to Maura on the phone.
Oh my gosh, it's so romantic.
Yeah,
When are you going to see him again?
I don't know. Whenever one of us can get away, I guess.
You'll have to tell me everything.
Marcy doesn't respond at first. She is distracted by the sound of an argument. It's coming from the dining room.
You act like a child, we'll treat you like one.
The arguing continues inaudibly.
Definitely. Hey, Maura, I should go. I'll talk to you later.
Marcy hangs up the phone and enters the dining room. Interior, Marcy's home, dining room, day. Marcy enters the dining room to find Eileen alone, cupping her face in her hands. She's taking deep breaths, trying not to cry.
Are you okay?
Fine.
Mom and Dad go.
Outside. How much of that did you hear?
A bit.
They want me to move out.
Well, isn't that what you want?
What do you care?
I'm your sister.
Eileen stands up, handing Marcy a package from the dining room table.
This is for you.
Marcy takes it. She sits down and excitedly opens it, seeing it's from Cole. There's a letter and a few CDs. She reads the letter.
I started missing you the second we said goodbye. Everything's going well, though. I'm officially with that manager. We're having these meetings to talk about my image. He's trying to get me auditions with record labels and hopefully do an album. So we'll see how that goes. Until then, these are some of my favorite bands.
Marcy looks at the CDs, noticing Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses on one. She smiles. Interior, Marcy's home, Marcy's room, night. Later, Marcy talks to Cole.
I'm gonna listen the first chance I get.
Good. I hope there'll at least be some new stuff for you to discover.
Definitely. Welcome to the jungle, though.
Guns N' Roses?
Marcy laughs, then smiles as she responds.
I know Guns N' Roses. I just wasn't expecting that to be one of your favorites.
Yeah, I've always kind of seen it as like about the dark side of fame and fortune. I just hope that,
What?
you know, if everything works out with this manager and I get an album and, maybe one song gets to number one, I'd be lying if I didn't say I didn't think about it.
And
I guess if that all happens, I don't want to forget who I am and where I come from.
Marcy smiles.
you won't.
God, I miss you.
Me too.
Exterior, downtown White Lake, dusk. A cold night. It's autumn now, evident from the falling leaves. Marcy leaves a cafe, walking down the street as she listens to Dire Straits' So Far Away from Cole's CD. She jealously eyes a couple on the street until she looks back at an open art supply store. She enters. Exterior, downtown White Lake, later. Marcy leaves with a bag of brushes and paints and smiles. She puts her Discman on and plays the CD. This time, it's on a Ramones song. Interior, Marcy's home, dining room, day. Sitting at the dining room table, Marcy finishes a watercolor of a jungle. Beside it, there's a card. It reads, Cole, even when you're in the thick of the jungle, I know you'll find your way. I miss you. Happy birthday. Hope this isn't too bad. Interior, Marcy's home, Marcy's room, day. Marcy and Cole talk on the phone.
I saw it, thought I was dating the next Monet.
You're just saying that.
No, I'm not. You are very good.
Marcy blushes.
Hey, by the way, how'd your audition go?
They passed, but that's okay. We keep trying. I have one 2 weeks from now, though. It's a place called Velvet Records in Brooklyn. It's Olive Sherman's label. So, yeah, no big deal.
Are you serious? I love Olive Sherman.
Well, maybe if I get this, I'll introduce you to sometime.
Marcy smiles.
I gotta go. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Montage. As Marcy continues to listen to Cole's mixtapes, she goes about her daily life. The leaves start to fall and the weather gets frosty. Marcy works at the cafe. Marcy lies in bed, gazing intently at an old picture Cole sent her of him performing. Interior, Marcy's home, dining room, later. It's a cold night. Marcy paints when she hears the phone ring. She answers. It's Cole.
Hey,
Sorry I haven't called.
no problem. I was just starting to get worried.
Hey, I got the album deal with Velvet Records and $50,000 advance.
Marcy's eyes widen.
50,000?
She has to stop to catch her breath.
It's more money than I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna quit my job, help my mom get out of debt, and I'll still have all this money left over to just work on my music. Then if it goes well, I'm hoping I get on TV, go on tour. Obviously, there's so much I want to do.
Cole, that's amazing.
Hey, I know you said your family has plans for Christmas, but do you want to come to New York for New Year's? And in case the world ends, we'll be together.
Yeah, I'd love to. My parents and Eileen are out and about right now, but I'll ask them. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay. Hey, Marcy,
Yeah,
I love you.
It's a moment before Marcy replies.
I love you too.
Exterior, New York, airport, night. It's winter now. Marcy gets off the plane as she sees Cole waiting for her. As soon as they lock eyes, she runs up to him and they kiss. Interior, Cole's apartment, hallway, night. Cole leads Marcy up a set of rickety stairs. She notices how cold it is, how in disrepair everything is. Buckets are placed on the floor to catch drips from a leaking ceiling. He gestures to a door.
It's this.
He unlocks the door and leads her in. Interior, Cole's apartment, main area, night. The apartment is cluttered and small. Marcy's house seems luxurious in comparison. As they enter, Cole's mother, Patty, 40s, comes to greet them.
Hey, Marcy. I'm Patty, Cole's mom. Did you have a good trip?
Yes, I did. Thank you. And thank you for having me.
Always.
Patty turns to Cole.
You can take the couch in her room, okay?
Yep, that's what I was planning on.
Patty turns and calls down the hallway.
Kelsey,
A teenage girl's voice calls back.
Yeah?
come on out here.
A moment later, Kelsey Hargrove, 16, emerges from the hallway. She very much resembles both her mother and brother. She's in pajamas.
Kels, this is Marcy.
Hi.
Kelsey manages a shy wave.
Hi.
After an awkward silence, Kelsey disappears back down the hallway.
Sorry, she's shy.
Marcy smiles tiredly, and Patty turns to the two of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get ready for bed. It's late, and I know the two of you both have an early morning tomorrow.
Good night.
We'll talk more while you're here.
Marcy nods, and Patty goes down the hallway. Marcy gives Cole a look.
Early morning.
I'm at a recording session. You have to be there by 7:30.
Marcy gives him a blank look.
I thought we talked about this.
No,
And I swear we did.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we'll have to leave by 6 tomorrow.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm sorry. I really thought I said something.
Don't worry about it.
Cole takes her suitcase and leads her down the hall. Interior, Cole's apartment, Cole's room, night. As they walk in, Marcy takes in every detail of Cole's room that she can. The posters on the walls, the He-Man and Skeletor action figures on his shelves. They kiss. Slowly, he closes the door. Marcy notices her painting on the top of his dresser. Then she moves to his bed, collapsing on it. Interior, bagel shop, early morning. Early. Marcy and Cole sit at a table by the window with their breakfast. It's clear the both of them are still waking up when they hear a woman's voice.
Hey, Cole.
They both look to see Taylor, 20, beautiful, well dressed, standing in front of their table. She holds coffee and a to-go bag.
Hey, Taylor.
She gestures to Marcy.
Who's this?
This is Marcy.
I'm Taylor.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. What are you up to today?
Marcy's gonna come watch me record some music.
Recording.
Yeah, I got an album deal a few months ago.
That's really great, Cole. Congratulations.
She stands there for a moment.
Well, I've got to head to work. Good to see you.
Marcy and Cole watch as she leaves, and they turn to each other.
Who was that?
Taylor, my ex.
Oh,
Awkward silence.
how long were you guys together?
2.5 years.
So was it serious?
Yeah,
So why'd you and her break up?
I really don't want to talk about it, Marcy.
Marcy shirks back, caught off guard. Cole realizes he's gone too far and takes her hand, softening.
I'm sorry. Taylor and I, we just wanted different things. I'm sure you know how that is.
I don't, actually.
What do you mean?
Marcy pauses before she responds.
Well, you're kind of my first relationship.
Oh,
Silence.
I'm a bit surprised by that, to be honest.
Marcy shrugs.
You didn't even like have a boy that you kiss on the playground in like fifth grade or something?
Marcy shakes her head.
I really do love you. I hope you know that.
Marcy smiles as Cole brings her hand to his lips and kisses it. Interior, Velvet Records, recording studio booth, day. Marcy sits with Chris, 50s, Cole's manager, record technicians and producers in the recording booth as he gets set up. They both realize Cole is ready. One producer speaks into a mic.
Life in Pink, take one. Whenever you're ready, Cole.
Cole exchanges a look with Marcy and starts his song. The lyrics describe a girl in pink. She realizes it's about her, the first time they met. Interior, restaurant, day. Marcy and Cole sit across from each other at a restaurant for lunch.
I thought you looked like which Disney character wears the pink dress?
Sleeping Beauty?
Yeah.
Marcy blushes.
Did you like it?
I think it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard.
They exchange a lingering smile.
Hey, Marcy,
Yeah?
do you maybe want to get a hotel tonight so we could have some privacy?
Marcy hesitates before she nods. Interior, upscale hotel room, night. Marcy and Cole enter the hotel room. It's elegant, opulent.
Whoa, this is so nice.
In response, Cole takes her in his arms and kisses her. They keep kissing. It gets passionate, on the verge of something more, before Marcy stops.
What is it?
You know I've never done this before, right?
Cole just looks at her. Marcy takes off her sweater first. Then she unclips her bra as Cole takes off his shirt. He leans in to kiss her again. Interior, Cole's apartment, main area, night. New Year's Eve, 1999. Cole, Marcy, Patty, and Kelsey sit around the TV getting ready to watch the ball drop. Marcy and Cole are both cuddly, cozy, and happy. It's less than 20 seconds to go.
It's happening.
She starts counting.
10, 9,
The,
8,
oth- the others join in her in counting down
7.
to the new year. When the ball drops and Auld Lang Syne, Cole kisses Marcy, though softly, chastely in front of his family. When they both pull away, Patty and Kelsey are smiling at them. Exterior, New York Street, Day. New Year's Day 2000. Marcy holds Cole's hand as Kelsey and Patty walk beside them. They're leaving a theater with the watchtower on the marquee.
If Joan doesn't win, I'm flying to LA and protesting the whole ceremony.
She's still not going to date you.
Hey, you know Olivia now.
That's a
Olive now. Well, introduce yourself. And then Olive can introduce you to Joan, and then you can introduce her to me.
keep dreaming.
Marcy just smiles. Exterior, Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport, morning. As Auld Lang Syne continues, Marcy walks into the airport in Minneapolis. Everything can't help but seem a little colder and grayer. She sees Ed and Paula waiting for her. They give her a hug. Interior, Marcy's home, dining room, night. It's Valentine's Day, as evidenced by the decorations in the Lewis home. Paula, Ed, and Eileen are in the process of getting dinner ready as Marcy walks in. Eileen, the process of setting the table, hands her a package from the counter.
For you.
Marcy finds a place to sit and opens it. There's a coffee table book of Van Gogh paintings, a bar of dark chocolate, and a Valentine's card. Marcy smiles when she sees everything, tears welling in her eyes. She goes into the hallway. Interior, Marcy's home, hallway, night. Marcy talks to Cole on the phone.
I love it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
There's a moment where neither of them speak.
So I just found out that the album's going to be out in October, and there's really nothing for me to do until then. So I was wondering, what would you think if I came out to Minnesota? I could be there for the summer, and then we could be together every day.
Are you kidding? There's literally nothing I would love more.
Great.
Also, I'm moving in with Eileen's friends, so I'll be downtown, or whatever White Lake's excuse for downtown is anyway, but find a place close by.
Mhm. Interior, apartment sublet, day. Cole and Marcy walk into the bright and airy studio apartment that he's subletting. They stop and smile. After they close the door, they start to kiss. They both take off their clothes. Exterior, White Lake, marina, day. Cole and Marcy sit at the edge of a busy marina, just having finished lunch. It's a perfect summer day, and the sun glistens off the lake. Cole has his guitar beside him.
Hey, do you want to hear the album?
What, like now?
Sure.
I'd love to.
Cole gets out his guitar and gets ready to play.
Okay, so since it's called Sailboats. This is my take on a seaside rendezvous from the one, the only Freddie Mercury, which I totally didn't butcher in the recording session.
Shut up.
Cole smiles and starts to play. As he does, we go into a montage. Montage. We see Cole's recording session of Seaside Rendezvous. He is joyous, on top of the world. There is nowhere he'd rather be. No moment he's ever been happier. His elation permeates the performance of the song. It's intercut with scenes of an idyllic summer with Marcy and his slowly rising star. Interior, record store, day. With the end of the song, it's now autumn. We're close on Marcy as she looks at something. We realize it's a billboard. Marcy's facial expression changes as she dashes out of the store. Exterior, record store, day. Cole waits for her outside wearing glasses. Cole presses his lips together, nervous as Marcy approaches him. She can barely contain a smile as she unrolls the magazine and hands it to him.
Look,
What?
just look.
His wrists shake furiously as he tries to open the magazine. She steadies her grasp on his as she helps him page through to the right place.
Trust me.
Once on the right page, they see Sailboats, Cole Hargrove at number 1. Marcy screams excitedly. Cole takes a moment longer to process.
I've got to call Chris.
Marcy nods excitedly. Interior, Minneapolis St. Paul Airport, day. Marcy and Cole share a long, lingering kiss goodbye. Interior, Marcy's apartment, bedroom, night. Winter. Marcy lies in her bedroom, depressed. There's a knock at the door.
Come in.
It's Shannon, 22, Marcy's roommate.
Guess what's on TV tonight?
Marcy looks at her.
Teen Witch. Want to get some pizza and booze and have a girls' night?
Sure.
Shannon realizes Marcy's been crying and sits on the bed next to her.
What's wrong?
I don't know. If he wants to break up, he should just say it.
Shannon gives her a reassuring, empathetic look. Interior, cafe, day. A few days later, Marcy stands behind the counter. No one's there. Discreetly, she's placed a magazine behind the counter. She's opened to a specific page. There are multiple tabloid photos of Cole in Central Park with Carrie Gold, 20, beautiful and classy. The headline reads, Cupid's bow has struck gold. Marcy closes the magazine. Carrie, the girl Cole was seen with, is on the cover. She lingers on it for a moment, a mix of emotions. Interior, Marcy's apartment, bedroom, night. Marcy talks on the phone with Cole.
We're not dating.
Okay, then why are all the magazines and tabloids saying that you are?
It's like a PR thing.
Okay, so if what you're saying is true, then why didn't you just tell me?
Chris set it up, okay?
Why? You have a girlfriend. At least I think you do.
Marcy,
Look, if you want to date Carrie instead, just say it, okay? I know I can't compare to someone with an Oscar nomination.
I don't like her that way. I love you.
Marcy scoffs.
You got a funny way of showing it.
Cole says nothing.
You know, maybe this isn't working out.
Cole still says nothing.
Everything's been really busy.
Yeah, we're done.
She hangs up the phone, crying. Interior, Marcy's apartment, living room, night. Still winter, a few days later. Marcy comes home from work to see Shannon on the phone.
Yeah, she does want to talk to you.
Something on the other end. Marcy stops and watches.
No. No, what about that? Don't you understand? Okay, don't call this number again.
Shannon and Marcy exchange a look as Marcy continues into her room. Exterior, downtown White Lake, dusk. Marcy walks home. Everything dull, gray, and lifeless. She's on the verge of tears as she listens to her Discman. She stops by a newsstand, her eyes drawn to one with Cole performing on the front page. SNL musical guest makes waves, the headline reads. Marcy removes her headphones, approaches the newsstand, and takes a look at the paper. She notices tour dates printed further down in the article. Minneapolis, March 17th. The seller gives her a look, and Marcy, flustered, hands the paper back.
Sorry, I was just looking.
Marcy puts her headphones back on and speed walks away. Interior, Marcy's apartment, living room, night. Later that night, Marcy returns home to find Shannon sitting on the couch, flipping through TV channels.
Oh, guess who still won't give up?
Marcy raises her eyebrow, and Shannon gestures to the pile of mail on an end table. She sees it immediately, an envelope from Cole. Before Shannon can say more, Marcy takes the envelope and goes into her room. Interior, Marcy's apartment, bedroom, night. Marcy sits on her bed and opens the envelope. There's a handwritten card, but a CD in a paper sleeve. On the latter, "Please just listen," has been written sloppily. Marcy reads the card first.
Marcy, I've played through our last talk 5,000 times in my head. I wanted you to know I can't get through a single minute without thinking about you, and how nothing's the same without you, and how I wish you were by my side so I could hold you, kiss you, and see you smile. Every night I want to call you just so I can hear your voice. What do I have to do for you to give me another chance?
She inhales deeply, then shakes as she puts the CD into her Discman and listens.
I want to play this new song for you. It's called Golden Age. You're the first one to ever hear it.
The song begins. It's melancholic, reflective, and beautiful. About her. Marcy starts to cry. Interior, Marcy's apartment, kitchen, day. Marcy talks to Cole as she makes coffee.
Hi, I got the card and the CD. Thank you.
I miss you.
Marcy says nothing.
So I'm about to go on this tour. It's just going to be for a few months. I get to skip over the whole opening act thing, so that's cool. I'm going to be in Minneapolis in March. If you want to come, that would be cool. I understand if not, though.
Marcy hesitates for a long time before she responds.
Sure.
Interior, Minneapolis Theater, night. Marcy files into her seat in a large auditorium. It's a respectable crowd, some 2,000 people. Interior, Minneapolis Theater, later. Marcy cries as she watches Cole perform Life in Pink. The whole audience is enraptured. Interior, Minneapolis Theater, later. After the show, as everyone disperses, Marcy lingers near the front of the theater trying to catch eyes with someone. Then she sees Chris. He gives her a cold, robotic smile.
Thanks for coming.
It's awkward as he gestures for her to follow. Interior, Minneapolis Theater, backstage, night. People mill about backstage as Marcy silently follows Chris. Then they approach it. Cole's dressing room. He's in the middle of taking stage makeup off and doesn't see them approach. Chris clears his throat. Cole stops what he's doing when he sees Marcy. Chris leaves, and Marcy enters the dressing room. Interior, Minneapolis Theater, Cole's dressing room, night. As soon as Marcy enters, Cole shuts the door. He wastes no time bringing her into his arms and kissing her. Marcy manages a smile before she pulls away. She wants this, but is hesitant.
What about Carrie? Carrie Gold?
We're not dating.
Are you sure?
I promise. I don't want to think about Carrie right now.
They keep kissing. Then it becomes more. Marcy finds her way to Cole's lap. It's so desperate, so intense that for a moment they both have to stop. They both laugh.
Did you like the show?
Marcy nods, smiling. They continue. Soon, he tugs at her shirt. After a moment, Marcy takes it off. He follows. Exterior, Minneapolis Theater, stage door. Cole and Marcy say goodbye. She notices Chris watching them from inside, further down the hallway. She turns back to Cole.
When am I going to see you again?
I don't know.
Okay.
He kisses her again. They kiss until they both become aware of camera flashes, which makes them pull away.
Did you hear that?
Whatever.
Marcy starts to leave.
Have a good rest of your tour.
Marcy turns and walks away, tears forming in her eyes. Interior, pharmacy, day. Marcy shops in a pharmacy, noticing the tabloids as she prepares to check out. There's the ones of her and Cole kissing after the concert. Hargrove's mystery girl. Carrie Gold jilted? The details of her face aren't quite clear, but still, she keeps her head down as she approaches the checkout line. Interior, cafe, day. Early fall, September. The leaves have started to change colors. Marcy's just finished checking a customer out. She tries to beckon the next one forward, but realizes they're all distracted. She sees what they're looking at. On the TV, the September 11th attacks. A coworker unmutes the TV, and everyone watches, frozen, silent. Those in the cafe have varied reactions, but Marcy screams. After a moment, we see what they've witnessed, the aftermath of the second plane careening into the South Tower. Once Marcy finds her bearings, she leaves the counter. Interior, cafe, break room, day. Marcy sits at the desk in the break room. She's dialed a number, clearly nervous.
Hello?
Oh, thank God. Are you seeing this?
Yeah.
How far away are you from it? Is your family safe?
Yeah, I'm safe. Mom and Kelsey are too. I'm on the other end of Manhattan, but still, we're all scared, Marcy. There's an order to stay in place and not go anywhere.
I thought it was some kind of accident until the second plane hit. I mean, I watched it with my own eyes.
Where are you now?
At work.
By then, Marcy's coworkers are starting to congregate.
Stay safe, okay? I gotta go, but if you want, I can call when I get home if you want to talk.
I'd really like that.
Interior, Marcy's home, Marcy's room, night. Marcy talks to Cole on the phone.
There's going to be a benefit concert in Central Park, second weekend of October. I, I totally understand if you can't come or if you don't want to. So no pressure, but it would just be nice to have you there.
I'll try my best to make it.
And you can always stay with me.
Marcy hesitates.
Okay.
Interior, Minneapolis St. Paul Airport. Security, day. Everything seems dystopian and grim as Marcy goes through security. Exterior, Central Park, night. Marcy sits beside Kelsey, now 18, and Patty as they watch Cole perform. Patty is moved to tears. Interior, Cole's Manhattan apartment, day. Kelsey, Patty, Cole, and Marcy all sit around and have breakfast.
It's too far. Why don't you stay closer to home?
Cal Arts is only one of the best design schools in the country.
Yeah, I know. How are we going to pay for it?
I will.
Cole, you don't have to do that. It's too much money.
I want to do it. I know it's hard to believe, but we don't have to struggle anymore. Everything's working out.
Exterior, Central Park, day. It's a beautiful, crisp fall day, but there's a somber, eerie feeling in the air as Marcy and Cole. He leads her to a bench. They sit and watch the falling leaves.
A lot's changing. I hate going through this alone.
Marcy says nothing.
Whenever I think about my future, about everything that's next, in my mind, you're always by my side.
Marcy says nothing, considering.
Marcy, please say something.
Just ask exactly what it is you want to ask.
I want us to get back together.
What about the distance thing? I mean, we never really figured that out.
Then we'll move in together.
The two regard each other. Then Cole brings her into his arms and kisses her. Interior, Ed and Paula's car, day. Marcy sits in the back seat as her parents sit in the front. As they get ready to drive, Paula hands her a magazine. A paparazzi photo of Cole and Marcy from the trip is on the cover. "I'm in love," says Cole Hargrove.
Is there something you want to tell us?
Marcy sets the magazine aside.
We got back together, and I'm gonna move to New York to be with him.
The two of them give her a look.
And I'm not asking for permission.
Exterior, Marcy and Cole's house, day. It's winter now. Marcy, Ed, and Paula, in a car packed with Marcy's stuff, drive up to an elegant Tudor mansion in Westchester County. Her parents are both clearly impressed by the house. Cole's already there, waiting to greet them. When they all get out, Marcy's jaw dropped. She approaches Cole.
This is for us?
You bet.
They have a lingering moment before Ed gets his attention.
Cole, want to give us the grand tour? Then we'll start unpacking.
Sure.
Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, bedroom, night. Marcy and Cole flop onto a mattress on the floor of their bedroom filled with boxes and exchange a smile and a kiss. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, garage, night. Marcy's in the garage. There's a brand new white Cadillac and silver Acura parked side by side. Marcy takes her keys and gets into the driver's seat of the Acura, smiling as she does. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, living room, day. Marcy sits in a bay window reading a book. We realize it's the paintings from the MoMA that Cole got her for Valentine's Day. She's overwhelmed by how quiet and isolating everything is. She looks at the book again, and an idea forms. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, spare room, dusk. Marcy sets up her easel with a canvas and new paints. Beside her are bags from a local paint store. She dips her brush into a black paint and begins. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, spare room, night. Hours later, Marcy is still going at it. The painting depicts a stage. From a performer's point of view, she hears Cole's voice.
There you are.
She turns and sees him. He's in a jovial mood as he approaches her, gesturing to the painting.
What is it?
Well, it's a stage, but what the performer sees.
She points out the different elements.
See, here's the lights and the audience. Yeah.
Cole looks, recognizing it.
It's amazing.
Not done yet.
He kisses her for a long time on the lips.
Why are you in such a good mood?
I have been nominated for 2 Grammys. Best New Artist and Best Song of the Year for Life in Pink.
Marcy screams excitedly and hugs him. When she pulls away, she realizes there's paint on his sweater.
Shit, sorry, I'm getting paint all over you.
I think there's a solution for that.
He takes off the sweater and kisses her again. Interior, limo, night. Los Angeles. Marcy and Cole, sitting in the back of a limo, both nervously wait to get out. They exchange a reassuring look, and then they do. Marcy slips her hand into Cole's, overwhelmed by how many people are on the red carpet. That's when Marcy notices Olive Sherman, now 27, a few paces ahead. Olive is dressed in a sparkly blue dress. She's being photographed, and paparazzi shout things to her.
Oh my God, that's her!
Cole sees too.
Have you met her yet?
No, we're never in at the same time.
Well, we have to introduce ourselves.
If there's an opportunity.
Marcy realizes that Cole is flustered. They keep walking down the red carpet before a reporter flags them down. Interior, Staples Center, night. The Grammys. They watch Olive on stage presenting the award for Best New Artist.
And the Grammy goes to Alicia Keys.
Cole slinks back in his chair. Marcy leans over and whispers to him.
I'm sorry.
Cole just smiles and brings her hand to his lips. They continue watching. Interior, Staples Center, night. Later in the ceremony, Marcy looks at her program. Peter, Paul, and Mary Tribute, the Golds. The faces of Peter, Paul, and Mary are projected on the stage behind Nate and Dawson Gold, both in their 30s, guitars slung over their shoulders. They each have that magnetic quality and the same look as Carrie Gold. Dawson, the younger and cute one, strums a musical ditty on his guitar. Suddenly, he stops and turns to Nate.
Hey, Nate.
Yes, Dawson?
The two of them clearly have their performance act down to a T.
I would say this Peter, Paul, and Mary tribute is missing someone, wouldn't you say?
I think we need a Mary, don't you?
Marcy looks and notices Cole shifting uncomfortably in his seat. Still, she looks back at the stage.
Folks, to celebrate 40 years of this legendary trio, we present to you...
You know her from Hangman's Noose and December Star.
She's our sister.
The one, the only,
Harry
Carry
Gold.
Gold.
Harry comes out on stage with a wave and a smile, just as stunning as she is on the cover of magazines. As she approaches a microphone, the three perform a bit.
Carrie, won't you sing for us this one time?
Public's been asking for it.
Oh, I guess.
Marcy notices Cole looking away from the stage. He begrudgingly looks back as the performance of Lemon Tree begins, sliding his hand into Marcy's. Once Carrie's vocals join in, she unmistakably locks eyes with Cole. Once Nate and Dawson notice, they continue the song, but are sure to give Cole a death glare. Marcy notices all of this and frees her hand from Cole's grasp. She shoots him a "we'll talk about this later" look as the song continues. Interior, Staples Center, later. Later still. A break in the ceremony, and there's a transition on stage. Marcy and Cole sit awkwardly. She's about to open her mouth when they both notice Olive talking to someone a few rows down from her. A moment later, she's clear to approach. Marcy and Cole exchange a look. Cole nervously gets up and takes Marcy's hand. They walk up to Olive.
Hi, I'm Cole. This is Marcy. I actually recorded Red Velvet too. Sailboats was my album.
Olive flashes him a smile.
Cole Hargrove, right?
He nods.
No way. I've seen you around Velvet. I listened to your album and thought it was great. I keep meaning to say hi, but things keep coming up.
Cole stammers as he speaks.
No worries. Thank you.
I love your dress. It reminds me of Anastasia.
Olive flashes Marcy a warm smile now.
That was kind of the idea, so thank you. We should connect when we're both back in New York. I feel like it'd be fun to collaborate.
Cole's face turns bright red.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Cole, Marcy, I'm sure we'll meet again.
She leaves, and Marcy turns to Cole.
Yeah, I got your tongue?
No,
Come on, it's obvious.
don't worry about it, Marcy.
The ceremony is about to resume, and they find their seats. Marcy opens her mouth again when they notice Nate and Dawson staring daggers at them from the aisle. Cole shifts his body away from them. It doesn't work. A moment later, Dawson's approached them.
Wait a minute. Can we talk for a second?
Cole says nothing.
What's this about?
He ignores Marcy and gets in Cole's face.
You want to look at me when I talk to you?
Nervously, Cole does, but barely. Dawson hesitates for a moment, then speaks.
It's not cool to play with people's emotions. That's all.
He lingers for a moment, then leaves and joins Nate further up the aisle. As soon as he leaves, Marcy stares at Cole with a raised eyebrow. Cole's about to speak when the ceremony starts up again. Interior, Staples Center, later. The end of the ceremony. Everyone is leaving. Cole scans the auditorium and then stands up, but Marcy stops him.
Hey,
She gestures for him to sit back down. He does.
you need to tell me exactly what happened with Carrie, okay?
Cole sighs.
Chris set it up, okay? He thought it would be good for the both of us if I were seen with her.
Did you like her?
She wasn't you, Marcy.
Did you guys do anything?
Cole nods.
Kissed.
Marcy inhales.
Just once. It didn't mean anything. It felt wrong.
Uh-huh.
Marcy.
Cole takes her hand. She lets him, but hesitatingly.
Why did you lie to me?
I didn't lie to you. I told her no, okay?
Marcy nods. Cole gives her a loving, fleeting look.
Besides, we were broken up.
Right.
Cole takes her hand and presses it to his lips.
I love you.
Marcy smiles. Interior, grocery store, day. Back in New York, Marcy is at the store in the magazine aisle. She sees Cole on the cover of one and inconspicuously picks it up. The cover reads, Getting to know Cole Hargrove, music's next big thing, and your new celebrity crush, all about the woman who captured his heart. Marcy pages through the magazine. She sees the photos of them, from the Grammys and paparazzi photos of the pair. She lingers at the first few lines. Sorry, girls, music's next big thing is happily in love. Before she can read more, she hears a voice.
Excuse me.
She turns and realizes she is in the customer's way.
Sorry.
Marcy puts the magazine back, takes her cart, and leaves. Exterior, downtown Scarsdale, day. Autumn. Marcy is walking in town. She's noticed a flyer with sections to tear off. Death of a salesman at Crescent Playhouse. She takes one and continues walking when she sees a large billboard with Cole's face and a cover of the new album, Fairgrounds, October 8th. She smiles tiredly. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, spare room, day. Spring. Marcy paints as she has the radio on. Super, 2003.
Cole Hargrove's Fairgrounds tour continues in Chicago today. The Grammy-winning album is certified platinum as of this month, a feat that was also matched by Sailboats, his debut. Venue organizers had to add more dates to keep up with the interest.
Marcy sighs and puts her paintbrush down. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, living room, day. Marcy stares at Cole's 2 Grammys in a display case. Just then, she gets a call. She answers.
Hey, stranger.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. Gosh, it's good to hear from you. What's new?
I got a job. It's at this news station in Orlando. I'll be moving there right after graduation in May.
Graduating?
Yeah, it's been 4 years.
Marcy takes a moment to process.
Oh, yeah, I guess it has.
Hey, I'll be in Orlando by the time Cole's coming later this year.
Cool.
I gotta go, but we'll talk soon?
Sure.
Marcy hangs up the phone. She walks over to the coffee table and takes the flyer for Crescent Playhouse and looks at it. Interior, theater, audition room, day. Marcy nervously stands in front of a director at an audition table.
Thank you. I'll let you know.
Marcy nods. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, bedroom, day. Summer. Marcy and Cole talk on the phone.
Where are you now?
Denver, Colorado. The mountains are really something.
She lies there, neither of them saying anything.
Hey, I'm going back. Be back in New York in about a month. You should come to the concert then.
I'd love to.
Great. So I'll be in Nebraska tomorrow, then Chicago. I'll be in Orlando in about 2 weeks.
Really? Maura's in Orlando, you know?
Your friend? Does she want to pass?
I'll ask her.
Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, office, day. Marcy sitting in the office, reading an email on her laptop. The subject line, Death of a Salesman. It reads, Thank you for auditioning for us. Unfortunately, you have not been cast. Her eyes glaze over the rest of the email, and she takes a moment to process. Then her phone dings. It's a text from Maura. I'd absolutely love a pass if it's not too much trouble. Marcy sighs. Interior, Cole's tour bus, day. New York. Cole and Marcy have lunch. It's hard for them to get used to all of the staff that hang around having a private conversation. Cole looks through Maura's photos. There's some of the crowd outside, of the signs, and then one of Cole on stage.
She said she really loved it.
Good.
She's always taking pictures and making movies. She did this documentary in high school about White Lake that won an award.
Cole smiles and puts the photos aside. Marcy's noticed something is off. His eyes are red and puffy. His speech is slow.
Have you been sleeping?
Cole raises an eyebrow.
You seem tired.
Fine.
He takes her hand.
Okay, so, I auditioned for a show, but I didn't get it.
Why didn't you tell me?
I don't know. I just thought if it didn't lead to anything, I didn't want to waste your time.
Waste my time?
Marcy says nothing.
I still don't know why you wouldn't tell me.
I'm sorry. I didn't get it, so
You're gonna get the next thing, Marcy.
I don't know. I just did it for fun, see if I still had it in me.
You do have it in you. Don't ever tell yourself otherwise.
He takes her hands and presses them to his lips.
I actually keep meaning to ask you.
Marcy raises her eyebrow, listening.
I want to use your painting of the stage for the cover of my new album, if that's okay with you.
Are you sure?
Very.
Interior, concert venue, night. Marcy, seated among the crowd, winces through the overwhelming sound of screams as Cole finishes one song. His electric guitar is traded out for an acoustic one by a stagehand. He approaches the mic, wanting to speak, but he is drowned out by even more screams. Finally, he gets a word in.
Hello, New York.
More screams.
This is a very special place to me.
Cut off again.
This is a city where I was born and raised, and where I still call home.
And again.
I fell in love with music because of my father. One of the many, many records he played for me was this obscure, brilliant folk album by a fellow named Jackson C. Frank.
At this, Marcy's face turns white.
The song I'm about to play for you is dedicated to the love of my life, the girl that makes me want to be a better man.
He begins a moving rendition of Marcy's song. Interior, tour bus, night. Marcy's led onto the tour bus and walks in on a fight between him and Chris. They don't see that Marcy is there.
I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna marry this girl one day.
That's not the issue. They're going to come after her for the next week. Is that what's going to be best for her?
Cole notices Marcy then.
You don't know shit about our relationship, Chris. And you're not my dad.
Chris pauses.
We'll continue this in the morning.
Great. Looking forward to it.
Chris leaves, passing Marcy without another word. Cole makes room for Marcy to come sit beside him. She does.
Hey, I'm sorry you had to hear that.
He kisses her.
What's his problem?
He's jealous because his wife can't fucking stand him.
Marcy kisses him back.
I didn't embarrass you.
Maybe a little.
Hey, we've got to leave early tomorrow for Boston, and they have us booked all these hotels here for the night. But do you want to go somewhere else?
Yeah.
Interior, the Ritz-Carlton hotel room. Morning. Marcy and Cole lie in bed the morning after. They exchange a smile before they realize it's after 8 a.m. Cole sits up.
Shit, I've got to be in the bus.
I could come with you.
Let me handle this last leg alone, okay? I'm in enough trouble as it is.
Marcy nods.
Just 2 more months, and then I'll be home.
They exchange a tired smile. There's an incoming call on his phone. It's from Chris. As he takes it, Chris talks so loudly that Marcy can hear what he says.
Good morning.
Cut the shit. Where the fuck are you?
I'm downtown, just getting dressed. I'll be there soon.
You better get your ass over here right now, or you can figure out your own fucking ride to Boston.
Chris hangs up and Cole sighs.
He'll be all right.
Are you sure?
Cole says nothing.
Does he always talk to you that way?
We knew what we were doing.
Cole kisses her. Interior, Marcy's home, foyer, day. Weeks later, alone. Marcy enters the house, going through the mail. She sees one, a newsletter from Crescent Playhouse, advertising an acting class. She regards it. Interior, studio, night. Marcy sits in a studio, looking over papers as classmates trickle in. All the while, Marcy's caught eyes with one. This is Taylor. Both girls recognize each other, though Marcy doesn't remember from where. After a moment, Taylor goes and sits next to her.
Do you, by chance, know Cole Hargrove?
Yeah, he's my boyfriend.
We've met before. I'm Taylor.
Marcy remembers the awkward bagel shop run-in now.
Marcy.
Taylor gestures for her friend, Josephine, 20s, to come over.
Josephine, this is Marcy, Cole's girlfriend.
Hi.
Marcy's face turns pale. Interior, studio, night. Another night. Rob, the teacher, explains the task.
We'll be doing Macbeth, Act 4, Scene 1. We'll have the next hour to prepare, and then after that, we'll put it on its feet. I'm going to announce the parts now, and we'll break off into small groups. First witch, Taylor. Second witch, Marcy. Third witch, Josephine.
As he continues, Taylor and Josephine both give Marcy sly smiles. Interior, studio, moments later. Marcy, Taylor, and Josephine take their sides and find a corner of the studio to prepare. They read through the scene awkwardly, silently.
Hey, Marcy, can I tell you something about Cole? Girl to girl?
Marcy responds without looking up from her paper.
Sure.
He doesn't love anyone or anything as much as himself. Maybe music. That's all.
Marcy looks up now.
Hey, Taylor, can I ask you something?
What?
Who ended it?
Me?
Why?
Taylor sighs.
I'm not trying to make you doubt him or anything. It's just that there are certain things. He's not good with communication.
How many times did he insist he told you something when he just hadn't? Or, stuff forgets to come up.
Oh, God. Too many.
I mean, I'm happy with Cole.
Oh, yes. Alice from the movie theater.
Movie theater?
Where Cole worked for a bit. One day, I go to the theater and meet this cute little Claire Danes type. She was a new hire, first year at Barnard, fresh from Ohio. Apparently, Cole had been training her, and he was so nice and blah, blah, blah.
So?
Anyways, it's Friday night. A bunch of us were going out to dinner. He invites her, and the two of them were just flirting right in front of my face.
Taylor scoffs.
He said he didn't like her that way, but I'm not an idiot. For a while, she was just always hanging around. At one point, I confronted her, and she was like, "Why do you care? He's yours." Suspicious.
So was he cheating or something?
Well, not explicitly, but you don't share your deepest secrets and vulnerabilities with some random girl you work with and not, your girlfriend.
What happened with her?
Oh, he quit the movie theater. She stayed. To me, if he didn't have anything to hide, why did he quit? Right? Again, I'm not trying to make you doubt him. I just thought you should know how he can be.
Marcy says nothing.
Part of me wishes he would have just admitted he liked her. I feel like maybe if he had, we could have worked through it. You know? Cole is super charming and sweet when you first meet him. As soon as things get serious, he runs.
Marcy still says nothing, her mind distant.
Hey, should we run the scene?
Sure.
Interior, studio, later. The class performs the scene. Even though it's awkward, Marcy finds herself having fun.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
As the classmate playing Macbeth enters, a look of joy, fulfillment forms on her face. Interior, studio, night. The last class. The class sits as if Rob were giving them notes, but instead, he gives them each a brief word of compliment. It's now Marcy's turn.
Marcy, you have a very natural talent in stage presence. I hope to see you on stage soon.
Marcy smiles. Exterior, studio, night. Marcy watches and as Taylor and Josephine walk off in a different direction. She gets into her car. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, living room, night. Marcy enters the living room to find Cole relaxing with a drink. She goes to sit next to him.
Hi, I didn't know you'd be home.
Just got back today.
I missed you.
How was class?
It was good, except I think I was in it with your ex.
Who? Taylor?
Yeah,
How was that?
Marcy shrugs.
Did she talk to you at all?
a little. She told me something interesting though about you and a girl named Alice.
What did she say?
Just that you two were a little bit too close.
Alice was a girl I worked with for a little bit. First year of college, just moved to the city. I had to train her. We got along, and I don't know. I didn't like her that way. We were just friends.
She said that you quit the movie theater job because of her. What was that about?
I thought it was the right thing to do. Obviously, it was bothering Taylor, and I wanted to put my relationship first. That's all there was to it. I promise.
Cole smiles and takes her hand.
I love you.
I love you too.
Hey, I was thinking it would be fun to host a Christmas party.
Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, living room, night. Various guests mingle as Christmas music plays. Marcy enters, having made a run to the store. She's carrying a bag of ranges and catches eyes with Olive Sherman sitting on the couch.
Marcy!
She approaches Marcy and wraps her in a hug.
Hi, Olive.
Marcy notices she has a glass of mulled wine in her hand. As Olive speaks, she slurs her words, evidently drunk.
Where's Cole?
He left to go pick up a friend of his, but he'll be back soon.
She gestures to the oranges.
Is that for the wine?
Yeah, if we need to make more.
Yeah, yes.
Is Ryan here?
Ryan is filming a movie in London, so I'm here alone.
Marcy gives her a look.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it's really sweet of you guys to have me. So, actually, there's a song on my new album that needs a guy part. Cole and I have been talking a little bit about that. He said that you guys were having this party and that I should come.
Marcy notices a girl, Lauren, 21, standing near a wall with a drink and staring at her.
Hey, Olive, I'm gonna go put these oranges away, okay? I'll see you later.
She waves. Interior, Marcy's home, living room, later. Marcy comes back a few moments later and finds an empty seat near the Christmas tree. She catches eyes with Lauren again.
Hi, I'm Marcy.
I know who you are.
Marcy says nothing.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stare at you earlier. That was rude. I'm Lauren. I work with Cole.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm the receptionist of Velvet.
nice.
Both are distracted, noticing Cole entering with Taylor. Marcy stares. He sees her and walks over, and she follows.
What are you doing?
Just sitting with my drink.
Merry Christmas, Lauren.
Merry Christmas.
Nervously, Lauren gets up and leaves. After, Marcy turns to Taylor.
Hi, Taylor. I didn't realize you two stayed in touch.
Just since acting class.
Awkward silence. Then, Cole leans in close to Marcy and whispers in her ear.
Hey, we have some Coke in the next room. You might like it if you tried it.
Marcy takes a moment to process.
No, thank you.
She gets up and leaves. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, kitchen, night. Marcy is in the middle of refilling her drink and catches eyes with Kelsey, now 20, tanned and more confident and radiant than she ever was.
Hey, Kelsey, I didn't know you were in town.
Yeah, just for the holidays.
How's California?
I love it. By the way, have you seen Cole?
Yeah, I saw him with Taylor, but I don't know where they went.
Wait, Taylor Carter? She's here?
Marcy nods.
Wait.
Hey, do you want to go somewhere more quiet?
Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, basement, night. A few guests hang out and talk downstairs, but it's much quieter. Marcy and Kelsey find a quiet place on a couch.
Look, I don't know why she's here, but I wouldn't worry or anything. He is crazy about you. He calls me for advice about you, you know? Stuff like, what if I did this for Marcy? Would she take it the wrong way? Or, mm, Marcy's mad at me and I don't know what I did. It's kind of cute.
I wish he'd express these things to me sometimes.
He is a dork. There's no denying that.
Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, basement, night. It's later in the night. Kelsey still drinks, but Marcy's switched to water. Less people are there.
Now, Cole tells me all the time he wishes Dad could have met you.
Marcy bites her lip.
I wish I could have met him too.
He was a musician. He taught Cole how to write lyrics and play music, and well, the rest is history.
Marcy listens.
He really does mean well, you know?
Before Marcy can respond, they're distracted by Olive darting down the stairs, looking green in the face.
Bathroom!
Instinctively, Marcy follows her. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, bathroom, night. As Olive makes a beeline for the toilet and starts to vomit, Marcy holds her hair back and tries to comfort her. Kelsey joins a moment later with a cup of water. Olive stops for a moment, noticing Kelsey.
Slow, careful sips.
Olive takes the water and drinks it.
I'm sorry.
You have nothing to be sorry about.
Olive vomits the water she just drank, and Marcy continues to comfort her. She vomits a little more, but finally has a breather.
What time is it?
Marcy checks her watch.
Almost 1 in the morning.
Olive's face turns panicked.
Almost 1? No. I have to get home. I have to call Ryan before I start filming.
Well, is there anyone we can call?
I drove here.
I can take you back.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's no problem.
Marcy nods as Olive takes another drink of water.
I think we might be about the same size. Want to see if we can find you some clothes? You'll be more comfortable.
Thank you so much. I promise I'll get them back to you.
Marcy and Kelsey both give Olive a tight look. They stand up and walk out. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, living room, day. Marcy, Olive, and Kelsey cut through the living room. Marcy scans the room for Cole. As they do, Kelsey finds a couch and crashes.
Oh, I'm about to pass out.
Marcy smiles tiredly and gestures Olive down a hallway.
Our room's this way.
Exterior, Marcy and Cole's house, night. Olive, wearing a sweatshirt and cozy pants, leads Marcy out the gate and gestures to her car. She hands Marcy the keys.
It's the Porsche.
She hands Marcy the keys and they get in. Interior, Olive's car, night. Marcy drives on an open country road as Olive looks out the window. Olive is dialing the phone, waiting, panicked, for Ryan to answer.
Hey, baby.
As Olive and Ryan talk, Marcy tries to mind her own business. Interior, Olive's car, moments later. The conversation Olive and Ryan have is wrapping up.
Love you too. Have a good shoot.
She hangs up the phone and looks to Marcy.
I think he knows. He's gonna be so upset.
Olive, for what it's worth, I don't know Ryan, but it's always seemed like you two really love each other.
Before he left, we talked about me going to rehab. I'm going to do it. I just, I just wanted to have a good night.
It's gonna be okay.
Olive nods vaguely. She turns the radio on to an instrumental Christmas station. They play a version of Away in a Manger. Olive's eyes light up in recognition, and she starts to sing along.
When I was 4 years old, I sang this as a solo in church. I'm not making this up, but I remember someone telling my mom, she's gonna be a star someday. I know this is gonna sound strange, but I miss when things were like nobody knew my name.
Marcy gives her a tight, reassuring look. Interior, Olive's house, living room, night. Marcy sits on Olive's couch, admiring the house and the decor. It reminds her of one of a fairy tale palace brought to life. Olive re-enters, sounding more sober, but tired, and carrying 2 cups of tea.
The cab should be here in 25 minutes. Again, don't worry about it. It's the least I could do.
She sits across from Marcy and hands her one of the teacups. The women exchange a tired smile. Interior, cab, night. As Marcy sits in the back of the cab, she sees a text from Cole. Kels said you took Olive home. Are you still with her? Marcy writes back, no, on my way. Interior, Marcy's home, living room, night. Everyone else has left. Marcy walks in to find Cole and Kelsey sitting and talking on one of the sofas. She wears one of Cole's t-shirts and a pair of Marcy's sweatpants. Cole sees her.
Hey, Kelsey's gonna sleep over tonight. She had too much to drink and she doesn't feel safe driving. We took a pair of your pants because none of mine fit.
Sounds good.
Marcy walks toward their bedroom, but Cole stops her.
Hey, I've barely seen you all tonight.
Marcy scoffs.
And whose fault is that?
What are you talking about?
Inviting your ex?
I just thought I'd send an email and touch base after what you told me. Nothing more to it.
That wasn't an invitation to start talking to her again or to invite her without our party without telling me.
What does it matter? We're just friends.
Like you and Alice were just friends.
Fuck you.
Oh. Why'd you have to pick her up anyway?
Her car's in the shop.
Guys, just stop.
This works. Cole and Marcy just look at each other, breathing heavily.
All right, let's go to bed.
Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, bedroom, morning. Marcy and Cole lay on opposite sides of the bed. He moves closer to Marcy, then kisses her forehead, then her cheek, then her lips. Marcy lets him, even if she's still frustrated.
I'm sorry for yelling last night.
I'm sorry too.
Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, kitchen, morning. The 3 of them have breakfast.
We didn't mean for it to yell in front of you last night. I hope you had a good time.
Just makes me sad to see you guys talk to each other like that.
They give her a tight look. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, foyer, morning. Later, they say goodbye to Kelsey and she leaves. Then Cole closes the door and gives Marcy a long look.
Listen, I don't love Taylor.
You loved her once, right?
Cole nods.
I only want to be with you. Please believe me.
Marcy gives him a weary, tired smile. Then she grabs her coat.
I'm gonna go get the mail real quick.
Exterior, Marcy and Cole's house, morning. Marcy and Cole sort through the mail. Her mouth opens when she sees a save the date for a wedding, May 2004. It's for Eileen and her fiance, Peter Hansen, 30s. She walks inside. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, kitchen, day. Marcy finds the phone and dials a number.
Hey sis, I just got your save the date.
Oh, good. Think you can make it?
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Cole's obviously welcome too. I don't know what his schedule's like.
Yeah, I'll ask him.
Interior, Cole's car, night. New Year's Eve. They drive in an upscale residential area approaching a house.
So, have you thought any more about if you can come to the wedding or?
It's gonna depend on a lot of things. There's a lot to do for the album, and all of song. And honestly, you probably don't want me there
Why would you even say that?
because
He gives Marcy a look.
the paparazzi.
Marcy scoffs.
Eileen's getting married. I think that would be more important to you.
I never said it wasn't important.
Then find the time. It's just a weekend.
We'll talk about this later.
Okay.
By then, they've parked at a specific house. Patty is standing in the doorway, and the lights are on. Interior, Patty's house, living room, night. Cole, Marcy, Patty, and Kelsey kneel next to a coffee table. They're all writing on pieces of paper. Marcy watches Cole write furiously. Her paper is still blank, and she and Patty lock eyes.
So, it's the things we want to let go of?
Patty nods.
Then we'll throw it all into the fire at midnight.
Marcy nods and turns back to the paper. First, she writes jealousy, then insecurity. Lastly, feeling like I'm a supporting character in someone else's story. Interior, reception hall, day. Spring, Minnesota, Eileen's wedding. Marcy watches as Eileen and her husband Peter dance. After a moment, she has to excuse herself. Exterior, reception hall, day. Marcy sits outside and starts to cry. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, bedroom, day. Marcy's just returned home. She sets her suitcase down and sees the clothes that Olive borrowed neatly folded on a chair. She smiles tiredly. There's a note attached to a piece of paper on the end table. Marcy reads the note. Thought you'd want to see this. Cole. She looks at the paper. It's a proof of her painting on Cole's album, Dreamers. Further down on the paper is the release date, September 28th, 2004. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, living room, night. Marcy eyes a magazine. On the cover, a dramatic headline announcing Ryan Keats and Olive Sherman's split. She pages through it, watching Cole pacing back and forth as he talks on the phone.
It's Green Day. It's gonna bury me.
The person he's speaking with says something.
I think it's a good album. I just don't know if people are gonna buy it. It's not like the last two.
They say something else.
Okay, well, that's good, at least.
They speak again. As Cole listens, his eyes widen.
Wait, really? Like it's an official offer and everything?
They say something else.
Um, yeah, I think that would be great. Let me know as soon as you know more. Okay, bye.
Cole hangs up the phone and sits next to Marcy.
Good news and bad news. What do you want to hear first?
Bad.
American Idiot's out September 21st, a week before mine. And I mean, it's going to be huge no matter what. If reviews are through the roof, then maybe. But I guess Chris said they're kind of mixed.
Ugh, that sucks. I'm sorry.
He thinks it's not going to make a difference to move the date. So,
Cole shrugs.
but the good news is that Olive and I got asked to float on the Macy's parade on Thanksgiving because their song's coming out next year.
Marcy's eyes widen and she hugs Cole.
It's amazing.
Cole nods, noticing the magazine Marcy was looking at.
Yeah, I think she just wants an excuse to work with everything, you know.
Sure.
Hey, we should all do Thanksgiving together this year. My family, yours, you could all come to the parade. It would be a lot of fun.
Marcy nods. Exterior, Marcy and Cole's house, back patio, dusk. A crisp fall night. Marcy and Cole sit on their back patio. They each drink something hot. Their stereo's out, and they listen to American Idiot.
How's the drink? Too strong?
No, it's perfect.
They continue to listen.
Dreamers is great.
Cole scoffs.
You're not going to be able to please everyone.
Cole doesn't respond. Tears are welling in his eyes. Exterior, Marcy and Cole's house, back patio, later. They're still listening to the album in silence. Their drinks are empty. Cole is clearly somewhere else. Emotional. He's been fighting tears. At the start of Wake Me Up When September Ends, he doesn't hold them back anymore, and he breaks down in sobs. Marcy immediately goes to sit next to him and comfort him.
Let it out. It's okay. Just let it out.
I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize, okay? You're feeling something, and that's okay.
He continues to cry, holding on to Marcy for dear life.
It's just,
Marcy listens.
I miss my dad.
Marcy gives him a reassuring look.
He'd be so proud of you. You know that, right?
After a moment, Cole nods vaguely. At the start of Homecoming, he starts to dry his tears.
Hey, you have a Macy's soon, and there's gonna be another album, and it's all gonna be okay.
Marcy gets up, squeezing his hand. She goes to check the CD.
It's almost over. Do you want to finish it, or you want to go in?
Cole sniffles.
I want to finish.
His mouth curls into a tight smile.
You don't just get off the roller coaster mid-ride, Marcy.
Marcy smiles back and goes to sit where she was before. Interior, Marcy's car, day. Marcy drives her family. Ed sits next to her in the passenger seat. Paula, Eileen, and Peter are in the back. They're stuck in traffic. The car radio is on scan.
Oh my goodness, this traffic is horrible.
Okay, I don't want to hear it.
Hey,
You guys did decide to fly on the busiest travel day of the year, so.
Marceline, cut it out right now. Otherwise, you can turn around and take us right back to the airport.
Marcy eyes Peter from her rearview mirror, looking uncomfortable.
Sorry. Are you sure you guys don't want to come to the parade tomorrow? It's going to be a lot of fun.
I thought we already talked about this. We just think it'd be most helpful if we stayed and cooked and have everything ready by the time you all get back. I thought you'd be happy that we're offering to do everything.
Marcy doesn't respond to this. She is distracted by a radio host saying the names Cole Hargrove and Olive Sherman. There are two of them in conversation. Marcy stops the scan.
I mean, did you see the set photos from Fairy Tale? Those two were getting a little cozy.
Besides, Olive is newly single. I'd love to see it happen.
I know what my most anticipated float tomorrow is going to be.
Marcy clicks off the radio. It's now awkwardly silent in the car.
Whatever, it's just media gossip anyway. It doesn't mean anything.
Exterior, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, morning. The hub of the parade. Marcy makes her way through the VIP bleachers when she notices Kelsey and Angie, 20. The women see her and make a space for her to sit. She does.
This is Angie, my girlfriend. Angie, Marcy.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
You too.
As Marcy watches them setting up for the parade, she overhears a bit of Kelsey and Angie's conversation.
No, 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 no. I'd forget how to form my words.
She's actually really nice.
She gets Marcy's attention.
Tell her Olive is really nice.
Yeah, she is.
Everyone turns their attention forward. The parade is about to start. Exterior, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, later. They watch the tail end of one act, and then the massive crowd erupts in screams. Olive and Cole's float has arrived in the parade. It's themed to Christmas animation, with Olive in a blue coat and Cole in a red one. As they watch them wave, the audience continues to scream, and they receive an introduction from the hosts. Marcy hears Patty whisper to Kelsey.
Oh, I wish your dad could see this.
I know.
The float stops. and Olive turns to Cole. The first notes of Baby It's Cold Outside begin. Everyone is into their performance. It's energetic, filled with joy, passion, and most of all, with chemistry. As the song continues, Marcy looks back at Kelsey, Patty, and Angie. Everyone's still into the performance. Maybe it's in her imagination. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, living room. That afternoon, Patty, Paula, Ed, Eileen, Peter, Kelsey, and Angie all introduce themselves as Marcy stands off to the side, looking towards the hallway. After a moment, she gets out her cell phone and calls Cole.
Hey, beautiful.
Marcy cringes and catches her breath.
Hey, where are you? We're gonna be ready to eat soon.
I'm still in the city, at the studio.
What do you mean you're at the studio?
Listen, Olive's all alone today, and she needed someone to keep her company for a little bit. Ryan's officially moved out of the house. Really hard for her.
What the fuck, Cole?
Everyone in the room stares at her.
My entire family's here. So is yours. We're waiting for you.
Okay, I'll leave now. Feel free to start without me.
Marcy hears Olive's voice, inaudible in the background.
We're not starting without you. We'll wait.
Okay. Hey, maybe we should invite Olive. Like I said, she doesn't have anywhere to go.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, bye.
Marcy hangs up the phone.
What was that about?
Cole, for some reason, went to the studio. He's on his way, though.
Okay, well, everything's ready now.
Eat it, throw it out, do whatever you want. I don't care.
Marcy darts out of the room. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, bedroom, day. Marcy lies face down in her mattress, sobbing. There's a knock at the door.
Go away, please.
Not until you tell me what's going on.
Marcy sits up and sighs. Eileen enters the room and comes to sit next to her on the bed.
You know, Peter's too nice to say this to your face, but he's been asking me what your deal is. You weren't very friendly at the wedding, and now this. I get it if you don't want to tell mom or dad, but I hope you can at least tell me.
It's just been hard for us.
With the album not doing well?
No, it's more than just that.
Marcy pauses.
Cole could have anyone he wants. It doesn't make sense that he would be with me.
Why doesn't it make sense?
Because I'm me. And I'm not sure that I like the person that I am.
Marcy, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Everyone feels like that at some point in their lives.
They hug tightly. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, dining room, night. Everyone, including Cole, eats a quiet Thanksgiving dinner. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, basement, day. The next day, everyone sits around a table as Paula and Ed start setting up a game of Monopoly.
You know what? I'm not going to play, but I'll hang out.
Hey, Peter.
He looks at her.
I don't think I'll play either, but if you want to go upstairs, I can make you a drink.
Sure.
Cole gets her attention.
Before you go, can we talk for a minute?
Sure.
We won't be long.
Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, living room, day. Marcy and Cole find a space to sit opposite each other on the couch. As soon as they do, Cole looks right into her eyes and speaks, his tone serious.
First of all, I apologize for going to the studio without saying anything. That was a bad decision on my part. There's also nothing going on between me and Olive. I know I used to have a crush on her, but that was years ago. I'm completely serious that I see her as my sister, okay?
So, what was the performance all about then?
We were having a good time. That's all.
The rumors.
Fuck the rumors. Look, she was going to get some stuff from the studio. She was very emotional as soon as we got the float, and I wanted to help her.
In response, Marcy leans forward and hugs Cole. A moment later, they see Peter and pull out of the hug.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
They're just waiting for you to start.
Gotcha.
Cole gets up and goes down into the basement. Peter sits next to Marcy, and they exchange a friendly smile. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, living room, day. A few days later, Marcy is flipping through channels when she sees Olive's car pull up to their house. Confused, Marcy goes and meets her. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, foyer, day. Marcy watches from the front door as Olive pulls up and gets out, a serious look on her face. She approaches the door.
Hey, I'm sorry to just show up like this, but Cole said you'd be here.
Why don't you come in?
She does. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, living room, day. Olive sits on the couch as Marcy returns with a glass of water for her. She hands the water to Olive and sits.
Look, Cole told me about your Thanksgiving, and I'm really sorry that I caused problems.
It's fine.
Olive takes a long drink of water.
Marcy, I'm pregnant.
What? It's Ryan's?
Olive nods.
I found out 2 days before the Macy's show.
Didn't...
You know, divorce, figuring things out, you start thinking about old times. Sorry, TMI.
Don't worry about it.
But Ryan knows. We agreed to raise the kids separately, and everything's just a mess right now. You two have both been so nice to me, and I just needed a friend that day.
You're gonna be an amazing mom.
Thanks, Marcy.
After a moment, Olive speaks again.
Hey, if it helps, I'll pull fairy tale.
Unnecessary, okay? You guys have both worked so hard on it.
Olive gives her a tired smile. Marcy hugs her, and they say their goodbyes. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, office, day. Summer. Marcy tries and fails to work at her computer, listening to the radio. A song has finished, and two hosts discuss it.
That was Fairy Tale, the new single from Olive Sherman and Cole Hargrove.
They discuss Olive and Cole.
If you ask me, it seems awfully suspicious that she moved so far away.
Yeah, I'm not sure I believe Ryan is the father.
You think it's Cole?
I think so.
If you ask me, he should ditch the girlfriend. Macy?
Marcy.
That's right, the one who's always scowling.
As they introduce the next song, Marcy shuts off the radio. Her gaze turns to a card beside her computer. It's announcing Eileen's pregnancy and an August 2005 due date. She sighs and leaves. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, living room, day. Marcy mindlessly flips through channels, stopping after a moment on Carrie Gold's face. While older, she still looks the same as in the middle of a tense argument with a TV journalist on a red carpet. Marcy watches. Insert Entertainment News Channel. A red carpet. Carrie is dolled up as she talks to the journalist, but her seething only gets more apparent with each passing moment.
I actually would like to talk about my movie and not my personal life.
But was he ever your boyfriend?
Carrie is frustrated.
No.
You know, there's a lot of people saying you two hooked up and he left you in the dust.
With all due respect, I do not want to talk about Cole Hargrove.
Carrie.
Well, it's true, okay?
The journalist says nothing, but Marcy sees it in her face.
Are you satisfied?
She turns off the TV and screams once she has a chance to process. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, bedroom, night. The middle of the night. Marcy stares blankly at the wall. She notices Cole get into bed and sits up.
Hey, sorry.
Marcy turns the light on.
I wasn't sleeping.
Cole notices that her eyes are red.
What's wrong?
He tries to take her hand, but she doesn't let him.
I saw an interview with Carrie Gold today.
And
they were asking her about a rumor that you two hooked up.
The color drains from Cole's face.
Is it true?
Marcy, we were broken up.
So it is.
Cole nods.
You've lied about this twice.
Cole says nothing.
You lied about you two just being friends. Then, when her brothers wanted to kill you, you still lied.
You're so overdramatic. My God.
Excuse me?
Anyway, you were the one who broke up with me, and after that, you had sex with me and then just left. So I don't know what leg you had to stand on with any of this.
Marcy fumes, but calms herself down.
For the record, I'm not upset that it happened. I'm upset that you couldn't trust me with the truth.
I guess I thought it would change the way you see me.
Why?
I'd never wanted you to think you had any competition for my heart.
He tries to take her hand, but she doesn't let him. She regards him for a long moment.
I I think I'm gonna go see my sister when she has the twins.
Okay.
And I'm booking a one-way ticket.
What?
I'll come back when I'm ready. I just don't know how long it's gonna be right now, okay?
What's that supposed to mean? Are we breaking up?
No, I need space.
Interior, hospital, Eileen's room, day. Paula, Ed, Peter, and Marcy are all with Eileen. Peter gives Riley to Marcy, and Eileen holds Leah.
This is Riley.
And Leah.
Marcy's mouth forms a smile as she looks at Riley's face.
Hi, Riley.
Eileen talks to Leah.
That's Aunt Marcy with your sister.
Interior, Marcy's home, dining room, day. Marcy works on her laptop. She's looking at an email from Rob, her teacher from the acting class. Part of it reads, I wanted to reach out because I'm directing 12th Night at Crescent Playhouse, and I want to invite you to audition. Hope you're well. Paula enters the dining room.
When are you going to be done with that?
I don't know. I'm just checking my email.
Well, your sister needs us to go to the store.
Marcy inhales, frustrated.
Okay.
Interior, Marcy's home, living room, day. September. Marcy sits distant from the rest of her family, watching the first colored leaf fall from the trees outside. She gets out her phone and texts Cole back. I'm booking my ticket back. Interior, New York, airport, day. Marcy waits as Cole's car pulls up. She gets in. Interior, Cole's car, day. He kisses her quickly as his face turns serious.
So I've been thinking a lot, and I'm gonna take the rest of the year off. The album can wait. I know I haven't been there. And when you left, I was afraid you weren't gonna come back.
Marcy
I was
says
also
nothing.
I was also thinking, what if we go on a trip somewhere just to get away?
Yeah, I'd love that. It's just,
What?
well, there's this audition I want to do before we go.
Interior, Crescent Playhouse, audition room, day. Marcy, nervous but excited, approaches Rob at the audition table and hands him her resume.
Hey, Marcy, good to see you.
She stands in front of the table.
Did you have something prepared for me?
Marcy nods.
This is All Our Yesterdays from the Scottish play.
Rob's eyebrow raises as Marcy performs the monologue.
Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have lighted the fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
She breaks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marcy. That was lovely. I'll let you know either way.
Okay.
Interior, New York, Airport Lounge, day. Marcy and Cole sit in an airport lounge ready to travel. Cole checks his watch.
We should go in 5 minutes.
Marcy nods. Just then, she's gotten a call on her cell phone. She answers.
Hi, Marcy. It's Rob from Crescent Playhouse.
Marcy holds the phone tighter.
Yes, of course.
I'll get right to it. I was wondering if you want to be my viola.
Marcy nearly drops the phone.
I'm sorry. Did I hear that right?
Rob laughs.
Yes, you did.
I accept.
Great. I know you're about to go out of town. When are you back?
Next week. We're about to leave for Belize, so I won't be able to look at anything until I'm back.
That's all right. You should be able to get up to speed. Enjoy your trip.
Thanks so much. Talk soon.
Marcy hangs up the phone.
I'm Viola.
Cole barely gives her a reaction.
Viola's the lead, Cole. I'm playing the lead.
Nice.
Marcy is disappointed by his lack of reaction.
Well, don't you have more to say?
What's 12th night about?
Two siblings. They get separated in a shipwreck and they land on this island where there's cross-dressing, and Viola falls in love with Duke Orsino, and it's really fun.
It's a love story? Are you going to have to kiss someone?
Marcy gives him a look.
That's what you're taking from this?
Cole checks his watch.
It's time.
Okay.
Interior, Belize Resort, hotel lobby, day. Marcy and Cole are quiet as they wait. They see Maura and her partner, Billy, enter the hotel. Marcy screams when she sees Maura and the two hug.
Oh, it's been too long.
I know.
Everyone introduces themselves. Exterior, Belize Resort, pool, day. Marcy and Maura sit at a bar, their drinks almost done, watching Cole fiddle with his guitar a ways away. Marcy is both exhausted and distant. Maura senses this, although the girls don't exchange words. After a moment, they see Cole standing up, taking his guitar and approaching the girls. He kisses Marcy. Interior, treetop restaurant, sunset. Marcy and Cole eat at a trendy restaurant in the treetops. The waiter has just returned with their drinks. They've gotten the same one. It's pink.
On the house tonight.
Thank you so much.
We're so happy you chose to spend your birthday with us. Please always be happy.
He smiles and leaves. Marcy looks at the drink.
A pink drink. Should we toast to that?
And to how far we've come since then.
They toast, and Cole leans forward to kiss her. It's then they become aware of a family of four, including Julia, 9, her mother, father, and sibling. Cole's face flushes nervously as he turns back to Marcy.
So, what are your goals for the year ahead?
I want to finish this album. I want to go on tour again. I want to keep living life. And living it with you.
Before Marcy can respond, they've noticed Julia and her mother approach the table.
Hi, I'm so sorry to bother you, but this is Julia, and she wants to tell you something.
I like your music. We're from Houston. My friends and I saw you when you came there.
The color drains from Cole's face.
Thank you so much, Julia. I had a lot of fun in Houston.
Well, didn't you have something you wanted to ask?
Can we get a picture?
Of course.
Julia takes out her camera and gives it to her mother. She stands beside Cole. They take the pictures, Cole's face white. Interior, Belize Resort, rental cottage, night. Marcy turns over in their bed at the cottage they've rented to find Cole isn't there. She gets up and puts a sweater on.
Cole?
No answer. Marcy puts her shoes on and leaves the cottage. Exterior, Belize Resort, rental cottage, night. Marcy finds Cole lying in a hammock outside their cottage.
There you are.
Cole's looking at something, which he abruptly conceals as she lies next to him. He takes her in his arms, and they both look up at the stars. Marcy nods, and he holds her tighter.
What have you got there?
Cole takes a deep breath.
This isn't how I imagined doing this, but I guess here it goes.
Cole gets up from the hammock, approaches Marcy, and gets down on one knee. Marcy sits up, realizing what's happening, as Cole gets down on one knee and presents her with the ring.
Will you marry me?
Marcy doesn't respond right away, long enough for Cole to get nervous. Then she does.
Yes.
Cole smiles, puts the ring on her finger, and kisses her. Interior, Belize Resort, hotel lobby, day. Marcy, Cole, Billy, and Maura idle with their bags as Maura admires Marcy's ring. Just then, a cab pulls up.
That's us.
Maura and Marcy hug.
Congratulations, and we'll talk soon.
They leave. Interior, Crescent Playhouse, theater, night. Back in New York, Marcy is in the midst of a rehearsal for Twelfth Night. She's on stage with Josh playing Orsino, and Heather playing Olivia and other cast members. As they go through the scene, Marcy finds herself being drawn to Josh.
Husband.
Aye, husband, can he that deny?
Her husband, sirrah.
No, my lord, not I.
Just then, Rob gets their attention. As they break, Marcy finds her eyes, her focus, stay on Josh.
Stop there for now, guys. Let's take 5.
Interior, Crescent Playhouse, theater lobby, night. Marcy gets a drink of water at a bubbler as she sees Josh behind her. She gets out of his way.
Hey, sorry.
No worries.
It's awkward as he takes a drink from the bubbler. He waves at her, leaving Marcy alone. She feels her face turn red. Interior, Crescent Playhouse, theater, night. Dress rehearsal, the end of the show. Marcy and Josh are on stage.
Cesario, come.
He takes her hand and continues the end of his speech.
For so you shall be, while you are a man, but when others' habits are seen, Orsino's mistress and his fancy's queen.
He leans in and kisses Marcy.
Perfect.
They linger for a moment, then exit. Interior, Crescent Playhouse, lobby, night. After the show, opening night. As the cast mingles with the audience, Marcy talks to Heather. She can't help but overhear a conversation between a few audience members.
You know she's Cole Hargrove's girlfriend, right?
No way, really?
No wonder they cast her.
What do you mean? She was good.
Didn't say she wasn't good. It just helps to get your foot in the door.
That must have been him that I saw.
You saw him?
Sitting in the back, glasses, Yankees hat.
Marcy looks and darts down the hall. Exterior, Crescent Playhouse, stage door, night. Marcy exits to see Cole standing by the door.
Well, hey, Clark Kent.
He smiles and hugs her.
Great job.
You could have told me you were coming.
I want it to be a surprise.
Well, what'd you think?
Before he can answer, they both see Josh exit out stage door. He and Cole exchange an awkward glance.
You see the show?
Yeah. Nice job.
Marcy senses the awkwardness.
Thanks for coming. I should jet, so...
No problem.
Josh waves.
My girlfriend loves you, by the way.
Cole waves and Josh speed walks away. Interior, restaurant, night. Marcy, Josh, Heather, and Emily, Josh's girlfriend, sit around a table eating dinner. Marcy notices Emily eyeing her ring.
Sorry, that ring is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Have you guys set a date yet?
Marcy shakes her head.
You know, Cole's always invited to whatever we do. If he can, but I'd love to meet him.
She's not a fan or anything.
Marcy smiles shyly. Exterior, restaurant, night. The four of them linger outside the restaurant.
I should probably call it a night. I know Cole's off, so he's home, and I didn't know if he wanted to do anything, so.
Yeah, no worries.
Have a good night, Marcy.
Marcy waves and starts walking towards her car. She writes Cole a text, on my way back. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, foyer, night. Marcy enters the house, noticing that Cole hasn't responded to her text.
Cole?
No answer. She walks towards the hallway. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, hallway, moments later. Marcy walks towards their bedroom to see the door slightly ajar. She hears voices, Cole's and someone else's. Nervously, carefully, she opens the door, frozen by what she sees. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, bedroom, night. She has caught Cole in bed with Lauren. It takes Marcy a minute to place her, but then she remembers. Flash of Lauren from the Christmas party. Everything seems to move in slow motion. Cole is yelling something at Lauren indistinctly until she gets dressed, gets all of her stuff, and darts out the door, sobbing. As soon as she leaves, Marcy and Cole stare at each other for what seems like an eternity until she collapses on the floor. Cole tries to sit next to her, but she snaps.
Don't touch me.
She gets up and leaves the room. Interior, Marcy's home, hallway, moments later. Marcy doesn't make it very far in the hallway before sitting on the floor. Cole follows. Finally, Marcy speaks.
Was this the only time?
No,
How long?
I can explain.
How long has this been going on?
Marcy,
Answer the question, Cole.
February.
Marcy laughs emptily, ruefully.
So almost a year.
Cole says nothing.
Was there anyone else?
Cole says nothing. He tries to touch her, but she shirks away.
What about Taylor or Olive?
Olive never. Taylor, not since before I met you.
Marcy starts breathing heavily.
Answer my question. Was there anyone else?
Yes.
Who?
Some girl on tour. I don't even remember her name. It was on tour. We were at a party and we were high.
Marcy groans.
All this time. And I was guilty for kissing someone in a fucking play.
The two start to fight, and at that point, we lose track of what they say. Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, living room, night. At some point, Marcy and Cole have found their way to the living room. They've both calmed down, and Cole speaks seriously.
I made a mistake. I was scared and it didn't mean anything. I'm never going to love anyone but you.
Marcy doesn't speak for a long time, looking into how pleading Cole's eyes are. It makes her emotional, too.
I don't think I can ever trust you again.
She fiddles with her ring.
And I definitely can't marry you.
She takes off the ring, handing it to Cole.
I'll get a hotel tonight and I'll move my stuff out in the morning.
Marcy walks away, about to break down in sobs. Exterior, downtown White Lake, day. Marcy walks through her hometown, past the cafe where she used to work. Everything seems so much smaller. She passes the newsstands and an image of her and Cole with a dramatic paper rip effect. Nothing that they've broken up. She keeps walking. Interior, Eileen's house, living room, day. Summer. Eileen and Marcy sit with wine. Kids' toys and clutter are scattered in the living room.
I still don't know how exactly it happened, and I'm not even sure that I want to.
She sounds like a whore.
Eileen, that's not fair.
Why not?
It's just as much as Cole's fault as it is hers. It just all feels like a waste.
Well, I don't think any relationship is a waste of time.
Anyways, I'm not going back to New York, but I can't stay here.
Where are you thinking of going?
Sedona? It's in Arizona. Everything I read or hear about it, it seems like my type of place. Good art scene, far away from everyone and everything.
Interior, White Lake, restaurant, day. Autumn. Marcy and Maura sit at a restaurant.
So Sedona is happening?
Yes, January 1st. New year, fresh start.
As they sit, one of Cole's songs plays on the radio. The two exchange a look and are silent for a while.
I'm gonna have to get used to this, I guess.
You know, I've been thinking about a documentary I want to do.
Marcy raises her eyebrow.
Give people a little counter programming for the tour he's going on. I still have a lot of old footage from high school.
Oh, my story? I don't even know what that means.
Maura starts to speak, but Marcy stops her.
To be honest, it's all still a little overwhelming.
Maura's distracted by something.
Hey, speaking of Cole.
She directs Marcy's attention towards the TV. There's a picture of Cole with Bridget, 28, and she has a ring on her finger. They cut to news footage of a bakery in a small East Coast town. Insert TV news clip. Bridget speaks to the cameras.
Well, he came in and I thought he was really cute, but I didn't know who he was. I'm being serious. Later, obviously, I made the connection. It didn't matter to me. He's very sweet.
Interior, White Lake restaurant, same. As Bridget's interview continues, Marcy and Maura stare at each other.
I'm never gonna love anyone but you. That's what he told me less than a year ago.
Marcy.
It's not her fault. I just hope it works out.
She looks again at the TV to see the name.
For Bridget's sake. I mean, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Interior, Marcy's car, day. Marcy drives her car in the desert, packed full of boxes. Interior, gas station, day. Marcy browses for a snack. She's on the phone.
Sorry, I've been on the road, so I haven't been on email.
A publisher speaks.
How would you feel about writing a book? We'd be honored to publish it.
Marcy's eyes widen.
Sorry, what?
A beat. She looks around at the other customers in the store and lowers her voice.
Wouldn't I need to write something and get an agent and everything first?
It's your side of the story. Instant bestseller, guaranteed.
Thank you.
Mortified, she hangs up the phone. Interior, Marcy's apartment, night. It's late at night. Marcy's still unpacking as she types at a computer. She's written and written the same sentence over and over. She opens up a new tab and looks at her email. There's one from a publisher, subject, "Can we discuss advances?" Another, Cole Hargrove. There's another from Maura, high school footage. The email reads, "I'm sending you a DVD of some footage I finally had digitized. Hope you're settling in well. Call me when you can." Marcy sighs and turns back to her document.
This is just for you, Mars.
Interior, Marcy's apartment, later. It's the middle of the night now. Marcy's written more. After looking at her typed pages, she nods off. Exterior, the Blue Crane Lounge, day. Marcy's dream. In Marcy's dream, we're outside the Blue Crane Lounge. This is an idealized New York, an idealized 1999. Marcy hesitates outside the door. Eileen is beside her.
What are you waiting for? We'll miss our reservation.
We'll get dinner somewhere else.
Why?
Because I'm scared about what's inside.
What? That someone could like you and want to be with you?
More like that I'm not gonna know what to do with that.
Even now you're blaming yourself?
Marcy hesitates.
Come on. I'm hungry.
Interior, Marcy's apartment, night. Marcy wakes up, still at her desk. She sees it's past 3 in the morning and sighs. Interior, Sedona Art Studio, day. Time has passed. We see from a calendar that it's 2009 now. Marcy stands behind the desk of an art studio. She watches as Brad, 40, well-dressed and sharp, enters with his young son, Noah, 4. Brad approaches the desk.
Hi, I've got Noah here for the beginner class.
Marcy looks at something on the computer.
Noah Smith?
Brad nods. Marcy gets out paperwork for Brad to fill out.
I'm Marcy, by the way.
Brad.
There's an evident spark between the two of them. Interior, Sedona Art Studio, day. Another day. Brad picks up Noah from class. He waves to Marcy and they're about to go, but he stops Noah and goes back to the counter.
Marcy, we won't be back, but I was wondering if you wanted to have dinner with me sometime.
Marcy takes a deep breath. There's a moment before she responds.
Sure.
Interior, Sedona Restaurant, night. Marcy and Brad eat dinner at a nice restaurant. Marcy winces when she hears Cole's voice on the radio. It's a new song, a more polished version of a song he was working on in Belize. Brad doesn't notice her reaction as he's trying to figure it out.
Who is this? Do you know?
Marcy continues to wince, avoiding Brad's gaze.
It's Cole Hargrove.
Oh, this is him. It's nice.
Marcy disassociates for a moment. Eventually, she finds the strength to look back at Brad.
There's something you should know.
Brad raises his eyebrow and looks at her.
Cole, he's my ex-boyfriend, and we were together for a long time. Engaged for a second there. That bothers you.
Brad takes her hand. Marcy is reassured by the gesture.
Marcy, I'm divorced. I have a kid.
They exchange a warm smile. Exterior, Marcy's apartment, later. The same night, Brad kisses Marcy goodnight after their date. Montage. As the years pass, we see the highlights of Marcy and Brad's relationship. Brad waits for Marcy after a performance of The Elephant's Graveyard, where she plays the ballet girl with flowers. Brad proposes to her at a nice restaurant. Marcy and Brad get married in a church. They bring boxes into a home. In their living room, Marcy shows Brad a positive pregnancy test. Interior, hospital, day. Marcy lies in a hospital bed with her newborn daughter, Elena. Brad by her side.
Hi, Alana. What a wonderful world you're coming into.
Interior, Marcy and Brad's house, living room, day. Some years later, the family sits around the TV and watches a movie. Happy. Interior, Marcy and Brad's home, office, day. It's 2021. Marcy, now 40, looks at an email on her laptop. There's a subject line, Sailboats 20-year. She scans over the keywords of the email, wondering if you would comment. She notices Brad has entered the office. He kisses her cheek and Marcy closes the laptop.
I don't know how many times I have to say no for them to leave us alone.
Marcy buries her face in her hands.
I wish I knew what to tell you, honey.
Marcy takes his hand and they share a reassuring look.
I need to go pick up Noah.
Okay, I'll get dinner started soon.
As soon as Brad leaves, Marcy starts to feel lightheaded. It doesn't pass. She gets up. Interior, Marcy and Brad's house, bathroom, day. Marcy pukes into the toilet. Interior, hospital, exam room, day. Marcy sits and Brad holds her as a doctor delivers terrible news. Interior, Marcy and Brad's house, living room, day. Marcy is sick and pale now. She tries to watch TV, but she can't focus. After a moment, Brad joins her, a manuscript in hand. Marcy turns the TV off.
I wrote it before we met. I didn't even know I still had it.
I understand.
No matter what we do, people are going to tell the story. And I'd rather it come from me
So what's left?
to tell him.
Interior, Marcy and Cole's house, living room, morning. Marcy sits with Alana, 9, as Noah, 17, stands awkwardly off to the side. Marcy's visibly sick, her hair gone from chemo, her skin pale and veinous. Marcy talks to Alana.
I gave Noah some money, and you still have what you saved from the lemonade stand?
Alana nods.
Why are you forcing us to be out of the house all day?
So you can have a fun day at the mall with your brother.
Come on, let's go.
We'll watch a movie when you get back.
She kisses Alana on the forehead and ushers her out the door. Interior, Marcy and Brad's house, living room, day. Later that day, Marcy sits on the couch, watching the outside. Just then, they see a car pull up and Cole get out. Marcy looks back, taking a deep breath. After a moment, Brad answers the door and lets him in. We hold on Marcy as they make introductions.
You must be Brad.
That's me. Can I get you a coffee? There's some already made, or water?
Coffee would be great. Thank you.
His eyes stop on Marcy and Brad's wedding photo.
Honey.
Just water.
Cole turns in the direction of Marcy's voice.
Marcy.
As soon as he sees her, he sits down next to her and hugs her tightly.
Thank you so much for telling me.
I thought it was the right thing to do.
Cole takes a deep breath.
I know people who know people.
Oh.
I can make some calls.
Oh.
You'd have only the best.
She gives him a look and he stops.
That's not why I asked you here.
Understanding settles on his face.
Look at me.
Brad returns with Cole's coffee and Marcy's water. He kisses Marcy.
I'll be in our room. Love you.
Love you too.
He leaves, and it's silent for a while. Marcy gives him a look. Cole sniffles.
After you left, things are really hard. I went to Rhode Island just to get away. That's how I met Bridget.
He stops.
You can tell me.
It took a while, but she gave me a chance.
Marcy sniffles now too.
I wrote a book about us.
Cole gives her a look.
I'm giving the manuscript to Eileen, and she's going to hold on to it until my daughter's old enough.
Cole listens.
Okay.
Marcy hands him a written note.
This is her email. Just give her some time and then reach out. I want her to know that you know. She'll understand.
I've
had a great life.
They exchange a look as everything fades. Interior, hospice, Marcy's room, day. 2021. The radio plays, background noise. Eileen sits at Marcy's bedside, holding her hand. She's even weaker and sicker than before. Neither says much, but Eileen is emotional.
Are you sure you want to do this?
That's gonna be up to you, Eileen.
Marcy squeezes her hand.
Stop crying, please.
Marcy. Marcy.
You know you would tell me the same thing. I don't want to be remembered like this by you, by anyone.
Eileen sniffles. At that point, there's a knock at the door. It's Brad and Alana, cracking open the door.
Can she come in?
Of course.
I'll be in a minute.
Alana comes and stands beside her mother. At that moment, their attention turns to the radio and the song, Life in Pink. Eileen gestures to the radio as she and Marcy share a wordless look. Marcy shakes her head as the song continues.
Come here, sweetheart.
Alana sits beside her mother, in her arms, as they listen to the song.
Hey, Mom.
What is it?
This is one of the songs he wrote about you, right?
Marcy purses her lips.
Uh, Someone at school told me, so I asked Noah and he said that it was.
Marcy says nothing, her face searching for a reply. Eileen cuts in.
Hey, Alana.
She looks.
We all love you a whole lot, okay?
Eileen gestures toward her. Alana joins as Eileen wraps her in a hug. Marcy watches the two of them, a tired smile, assured it's all going to be okay. Exterior, graveyard, day. Some months later, Marcy's burial. Eileen excuses herself from Peter, her now teenage daughters, Riley and Leah, and the wide crowd of funeral goers. Maura notices and follows her to the point where the two of them have space and quiet. Eileen looks away from the crowd. Maura stands next to her.
I read it. Her book.
Maura looks.
And?
It's a lot. I'm still processing. I don't know what to do.
Maura listens.
Cole emailed me. I keep meaning to respond.
She breaks down crying. Maura comforts her.
You want me to read it? I can.
Would you? I need your help.
After a beat, Eileen speaks again.
Oh, and by the way, my parents wanted me to ask you if you had any footage of you two from high school.
Maura regards her.
They're stuck on this idea of you doing a documentary for her.
There's a long silence as Maura considers.
You know, I've been thinking about it.
They both comfort each other now. Fade to black.